Let's do the usual testing, testing, one, two, three. Let's do the usual. Testing, testing, one, two, three. I want to see if the audio is coming through properly, appropriately, and clearly. Mm-mm. I don't want to get too excited and realize the audio is whack or too loud. I don't want to get too close to the mic either. So I want to make sure everything is going according to plan. Okay, now let me see if the audio will be fine because I just turned the volume down. So bear with me. Do bear with me, you beautiful people, you beautiful, beautiful, amazing human beings. Do bear with me. Do bear with me, please. All right then. It is it is done. It is done. I think the audio is fine. You let me know in the comments. But so far it sounds like the audio is fine. All right then. For some weird reason, I like to hear my own audio loop in my head when I'm in my ear when I'm live. When I'm recording, that's a different story. But when I'm live, just so I can hear the audio of my own voice. And now we can do the mute and unmute. I like that. I like that you can do the mute thing instantly and rapidly, rapidoli, and do it quick, do it fast, do it bellissimo, without hesitation. Do it with quick succession. I went live the other day at Instagram. YouTube tried to finagle my live. I don't like that at all. But before I begin, greetings, everyone. It is I, your one and only host, the Cosmic Jedi. Welcome back to the channel. Me, you're talking as per usual. No, not as per usual. My bad. I've been on a hot streak so far. Ever since seeing the Deadpool 3 movie, I'm like, I don't like this movie, so we are discussing Deadpool 3, Part 3. Well, this is my third discussion. Hi, bye. Who are these guys who just joined the lives? More children again? Should I? Is there an age limit on this thing? Let me see if there's an age limit on this live because I don't understand how random people or random children are joining the lives. I think they're children because the other time I had a child who's 17, and I'm like, surely I have a setting on my account that this is not for children. This is for adults. Something has gone wrong somewhere. Someone is fooling around too much. Dread Dreamer, what's going on here? This is just a live discussion about the Deadpool 3 movie slash the cameos. I want to talk about the cameos that I liked and cameos that I didn't like. Icaro Silva says, Oi. Oi to you too. Icaro Silva. That's a very interesting name. Icaro Silva. Johnny B says hi. Hi to you as well, Johnny B. I'm going to start asking people how old they are because I'm like, yeah, last time the live was sweet, but the numbers, the age of that dude, I was like, wait, you're 17? How on earth did you even get in here, man? Who called you in here? Who called you in here? Who sent you the bulletin? How you know I was in here? Who all lived there? Whilst everyone is enjoying, well, whilst a lot of people are enjoying the Deadpool movies, I'm actually looking for people online who are being candid, truthful, and honest about the movie itself and saying, okay, it wasn't really a good movie. It lacked here. It was good here and there. And even the first live I did the other day when I had seen, hold on, when I'd seen the movie, I was like, I'm only gonna go on for like 5 minutes, and I was here for 3 hours straight. That's how pissed I was about this movie. That I was just bleeding out energy. Kids lie about their age on their YouTube account. Unfortunately, can't avoid it. Oh, Dread. Oh my goodness, bro. Thank you for saying that because I was like, I could have sworn. I'm like, man, I'm doing my best to be secure. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, you have underage children in your life. That's not well, it's not healthy. We need to check your account out. So thank you for that, Dread. Really, really appreciate that. What would my criticism be about? I can't give you a straight answer, man. I can only compare this one to the first two movies. No, or the previous two movies. And the more I'm gonna do these lives and movie breakdowns of any other movie, whether it's a superhero movie, action movie, or anything else, alien movie, what I'm gonna start doing now is I'm gonna from now on in the description as well, I'll make sure I find top 10. I don't want to say top 10. Let me rephrase that. 10 good movies. 10 movies we can all collectively agree on that these are good movies. And then I'll do another list of 10 movies where we can all collectively agree on that these are bad movies. Not opinion, not I think, where we just, objective, when we look at a thing and say, this is not what a good movie is. For example, if I was to do a quick comparison, before Hugh Jackman signed on for this Deadpool 3 movie, I'm going to give two movies. The answer is obvious, and if you've seen it, you know what, let me just ask it. Which one of these two movies are good? Or is good, sorry. The Logan movie or the X-Men, no, Wolverine, let me Google it real quick. I think it's Wolverine Origins, right? Either the Logan movie or the Wolverine Origins. Should I even do that as a poll? Can I create that as a poll real quick? Let me see if I can do that as a poll. I think it's called. That's the beautiful thing about having a laptop on call whilst you're doing the live via your mobile phone as well. This is a raw live, by the way. I don't like to. Sometimes I like to do a camera setup, lighting and everything, but I'm not in my home. I'm at the family's location. So when you're with family, you're just raw and pure. So when you ask someone which movie is the best or which movie is good, the Logan movie, or let me type in real quick, X-Men Origins. Is it X-Men Origins or, god damn it, is it Wolverine Origins? Wolverine Origin. Is that what it's called? Okay, it's X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's what it's called. Okay, cool. There we go. So if someone sits down, we're both talking, and they're like, "Oh, dude, I like the Logan movie, but I really love the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie." And I feel not only do I feel that's better than the Logan movie. Then there's no point having no disrespect to that human being. No disrespect, but there's no point in having the conversation with that person on what a good movie is and a bad movie is collectively. So instead of saying we do a list of 100 movies, not top 10. It's not like the number one on that list is the best and the 10th on that list is the worst. It's 10 movies we cannot collectively agree on saying these are beautifully made movies. That's one criteria. Second criteria is when you're watching the movie on digital, Blu-ray or 4K or whatever, when you're skipping scenes ahead, we have to agree that then there's something off with that movie. For example, that means as a package. We're talking about that movie as a package, beginning, middle, and end. We're allowed to rewind. We're allowed to go back and say, that scene was so good, I want to see it again. I've seen this movie 10,000 times. I just love that scene. I love the one liner. We're allowed to do that. Skipping forward, however, no. On that list, we have to have movies where we do not skip forward. We skip backward and pause, but we do not skip forward. For example, my brother and I watched, I say it as a bit. When we first saw the Infinity War and Endgame, he loved Infinity War. What he says a lot, though, about Endgame is when he's watching Endgame, he's skipping the time heist, what he would call the downtimes, time heist scenes, and when they were discussing and planning the time heist, he skips those scenes. Whereas when he's watching Infinity War, he doesn't skip forward. If anything, he skips backwards. Or he'll pause and play things in slow mo just to see the fight scenes, the animation, the stunt work. Another thing as well, when we first saw the first Avengers movie, the scene where, oh, I should have said this before when I started the live. Let me say it now. Heads up, I will be spoiling a lot of Marvel movies and the Deadpool movies as well. One more time, I shall repeat. I shall and will be spoiling some of the Marvel movies and the Deadpool movies. So you have been warned. If you don't want to get spoilers, then I suggest you leave the live for now and come back when you're done watching the movie. And then we shall continue discussion, or you can watch, watch this video when it's uploaded on the channel. But let me proceed for those who will come later as well and be like, oh, he's talking about the movie, but I should have said spoilers in the title. I'd say Logan for sure. Dredd. You see? Okay, cool. Dredd and I, we can agree on no, I don't want to talk about Deadpool yet. I don't want to rush it. So with those criterias, 10 movies, we all agree on that these are good movies. On top of that, if you love horror and that's your thing, anything else is just meh, but your thing is you love horror. Even though you love horror, on this list of 10 movies, it could be Terminator 2, for example, RoboCop 1, for example, or the first Avengers movie. And you love horror, that's your shtick, it's your thing. Any horror movie, you're down for it, you just love it. But you can still say, yo, that Avengers Infinity War movie, beautiful. I love horror, but beautiful. So that's how that list of 10 movies has to work. It's not when you ask someone, is this a good movie? Yeah, I love the costumes. Stop it. We're talking about the story, the whole package. If you're skipping forward, then we have to draw marks. That means it's not a beginning, middle, and end. It's not a great experience. Will you watch this movie again? Well, when you're hesitating, nada. It loses marks again. Now, there's some movies some of us can watch over and over again. Doesn't mean the other people will watch again, but we still have to come to an agreement collectively. Lord of the Rings, for example. Some people don't like Harry Potter, but do you still agree as a whole package? These are very well made movies. Some people really love Terminator 1, even though some people were like, yo, it's a little scary, man. It's almost like a zombie, but it's a robot zombie that doesn't necessarily, it's not a flesh eater. It's this killer that won't die because it's a machine. That used to give me nightmares for a while. I did not like Terminator 1. I appreciate it as I got older, but Terminator 2, if you were to give me both of them, I probably breeze through the first one, but I would pay full attention to the second one because that, as a whole package movie, there is no skipping forward in Terminator 2 for me. I'm taking shit backwards, but not forwards. Beautiful movie. So those things is what we have to agree on. A lot of people I've seen online with the Deadpool 3 movie, oh, the cameos were good. That's not, the movie wasn't this is the cameo. This is the movie. This is the cameo. If you're saying out of this whole thing, the first answer you give me, the cameos was good. It's a dull movie. It was a dull movie. Issues with the villain. She's overpowered, and I wanted to see how creatively they would have tackled her in terms of taking her down. Seeing Wolverine off the bat, of course. Anyone who loves Wolverine or loves Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine and loves Wolverine as a character, of course, seeing Wolverine, it's a no-brainer. You didn't come to the cinema with the title called Deadpool and Wolverine looking to see Wonder Woman. It's a no-brainer. So anytime people mention, oh, Wolverine was good, he has to be good in this. You've chosen to make the movie based on these two characters amongst other characters, of course. That's like being served a rice dish and then I almost messed up the analogy. I'll come back to that analogy. Give me a second. Give me a second. So Wolverine, or Hugh Jackman playing this version of Wolverine, beautiful. There was a scene when they were both in the car driving to go and meet the other survivors, which ended up being the uh, the cameos. Prior to that scene, one dialogue, one long line of dialogue, or yeah, that Wolverine was ripping into Deadpool was so for me, the weight of that scene was fire, and it was just climbing, climbing, climbing because the way Deadpool got this Wolverine we're now familiar with into his timeline is he kidnapped him. On paper, he kidnapped him, took him from his timeline out of selfishness of being afraid that his timeline was going to get erased. He got a Wolverine into from Wolverine's timeline into our timeline we're watching now. The funny thing is the one new term they introduced that they never mentioned in regards to the TVA in the Loki series season 1 and 2 was an anchor beam. There was never a mention of an anchor beam. So when they threw that into the movie, I was like, why are you guys cheating all of a sudden? Why are you not making new terms? So I do not like that. If you're going to stick to the TVA and a new version of the TVA or a better version of the TVA after Loki took over, don't add stuff. Then it means there's a problem with with the foundation of your thing. There was no such mention of anything called an anchor beam in this Loki season 1 and season 2. But you just played with it a little bit and said, let's just add this in just so the story can flow. That's a problem for me. For other people, they're cool with it. For me, that's a problem. That means you're being disingenuous and you're having to create something just so there's flow or fluidity in your movie, and that's a problem. That means I don't buy it. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm gonna reference Infinity War as well, but give me a second. So that's fight scene when Deadpool said there's a dialogue. I think he came. What did he say again? If you can go back to your timeline, what are you gonna do when you go back? Logan then stops the car and says, what do you say? He said, yeah, he said, I think he said, if you could go back the first time. He said, I think he tried to change to when. He said, no, say what you said again. He said, if you, then he stopped the car and clawed him right in his thigh. He said, did you say if? Did you say if? And I get it. I get the fact that you're desperate. You've been told that your timeline is about to get erased. You panic and then you use the tempad. You find some random Wolverine. Luckily, you found some random Wolverine where his world is already decimated, or in terms of the X-Men, he doesn't play a bigger role in his timeline. Luckily, you found one. Because as the TVA rules go, you can't pull someone from a timeline where their role serves a purpose. So we luckily found a Logan where his role doesn't serve a purpose in his timeline. So hence he can pull him from his timeline to Deadpool's timeline. All right, cool. I got another Logan. Fix your stuff. And I get it again. People were saying, "Oh, Deadpool is a comedic movie. Don't take it too serious." Yet the first two movies were serious. Cancer that Wade got in the first movie, that led him to this current timeline we're in. That's a serious sickness or disease. That's not a joke. So you can't use that excuse or that term to say, oh, you shouldn't take it too serious. The second movie, a villain wipes out a lot of people in the future, mutants and humans, if I remember correctly, kills a particular character's family. That character chooses to go back in time and sets out to kill this super villain when he's a boy. You don't think that's serious? You don't think that's a serious storyline? But when it comes to the Deadpool 3 movie, oh, you don't take it too seriously. You're wound too tight, you know? Don't take it too lightly. It's a comic book movie. Cancer is not a comic book joke or that shit is real. That shit is real. They put a real life disease in his storyline, especially based on the comics, and here we are today. So, certain things people like to play with when it comes to this movie. The fight scene that occurred in the car didn't need to happen because it spoiled the peak point when Logan was ripping into Wade. Logan was absolutely correct. Everything he said about Wade, absolutely correct. You had every right and reason to say what he said to Wade because he was pissed, dude. Even though I was already down on my luck, I'm not a happy guy. I did whatever I did to make my team die. I'm living with this guilt. You've then added on top of my stress and anger and dismay by yanking me into this nonsense, which I have no part to play in. I didn't want to be here. You've pulled me in here. You think I want to be smiling about it? Why should I be smiling about something you forced me into this nonsense? So I'm going to be pissed off. So every word he said to Wade was perfect. And with Deadpool silliness fashion, you didn't let that thing peak and maintain and let it simmer. Maybe apologize, beg him or something. Instead, Wade said, I'm going to fight you now. I thought, oh, come on, dude. Why would you do? And just for me, right there, when he said, I'm going to fight you now, it just dipped instantly. That emotional bit was beautiful. That was real. Just the same way they delivered Logan, they grounded the movie for us, but still give us enough beautiful scenes with X-23, give us emotional scenes. Dude. Nah. If I was to compare Logan to X-Men, Deadpool 3, Logan is far superior. Far superior. This movie was just noise for the sake of noise. Then if we want to talk about a TVA again, even that is spoiled. It's you spoiled it now. You have someone just going rogue because he wants to go rogue. This they keep pushing this this theme. You're supposed to be an organization that's overlooking the sacred timeline. But anyone can be in the sacred timeline and just do what they want. How do you I almost said vetting. If you ran the TVA, how would you place people to work in your TVA? You can't get an. Are you gonna get a rapist to be in your TVA? Pedophile? You're gonna get a lunatic to be. You get people where this part of their brain, for example, and not only their brain, their heart. If you get someone who is wavering or who has low key quiet ambitions, why do we need you in a team that is dealing with something beyond your minuscule thinking? Can you just tell any regular human being, oh, we're looking for participants to work in an organization that is to observe sacred talent? You think anyone on the street is going to just hear that and be like, yeah, I want to join? You have to vet your people properly. There's no spiritual background check. There's no intellectual background check. So Mr. Paradox, that's a very weak character. Weak character. The fact that the temp pads are being used anyhow and no one is observing how the temp pads are being used. There's no check on everything. Just in case you have a loose cannon on your team, you can shut them off real quick. Just in case. In case someone starts to get, too big for their boots. So, somebody is doing something, cut off the temp pad, lock down the section they're in, you just teleport in there, all right, cool, we're good. Do your Men in Black thing, wipe their brain clean, take them back to their timeline. And even with that, how do they employ or how do they retrieve the TVA members? Like, what process do you go through to get a member? Do you go to different parallel Earths? Are they born there? Are they made in a lab? Are they cloned? Can like a couple join the TVA, have children in the TVA, and then the children grow up and then they're part of the system as well? Because when someone thinks, oh, I like what you've done with the TVA, it's cool, but I think it should be run like this. You did not make this whole thing. The concept of what this whole thing represents is bigger than you. So I think it should be run like this. It's minuscule. You shouldn't even be here. If you're having a thought like that, you will cause an imbalance in the fluidity of how this whole cosmic system, not Walmart, not Foot Locker or McDonald's or whatever, KFC. This is a cosmic entity. This is a program that's beyond your regular comprehension. So who you have on your team at every level, whether it's the top level or the beneath level, everyone matters. So just having one random loose cannon who's gone off grid. And even if it's a thing that happens from time to time, you're telling me you have no protocols in place? This guy hasn't clocked in, for example. Mr. Paradox hasn't said this in a while. Check have if I was to say have surveillance on everyone, people would be like, "Oh, that's an intrusion of privacy." Boy, it's like, hey, this is the thing we're running. It's a tight ship, so we got to make sure we're looking at everyone. And if anybody's doing, I want to do it like this, and then, and even that, the higher ups just like it feels weird. There's higher ups who told Mr. Paradox, get a Deadpool in, and then tell Deadpool what we're going to do, and then I was like, so you mean you brought this guy in? You just gave him a whole lot of exposition and expect his mind, just because it's a character who breaks the fourth wall, you expected him to be okay with telling him, oh, we're going to pull you into this universe. But everyone you've known, you've loved, is about to get deleted. Don't worry, it'll be painless. They won't feel no pain. It will happen real quick. They won't feel any sadness or worry. They won't even think about it because it would be so fast, be like a millisecond. And you yourself, who's been told this, you're supposed to just take it in because you're a fourth wall breaker or you're a superhero. You're supposed to swallow them like, yeah, makes sense. Thanks for telling me, Mr. Paradox. Now where do I sign? Where's my room? What timeline do I go into? Of course not. If you take that concept, forget it's Deadpool. Remove the concept and place it on any other person, whether they're a superhero or not. You've been told that your mother's going to get erased, your father's going to get erased, your sister's going to get erased, your cousin's going to get erased. Are you supposed to just swallow that and be like, yeah, it checks out. It makes sense. No way. No way. So now I'm worried about two things. What Mr. Paradox was thinking when he told Deadpool that, and what the higher ups who told Mr. Paradox to pull Deadpool in were thinking. You know what this TVA is. You know. You've been here. So at what point were you thinking, what are the pros and cons of what we're about to do with Mr. Wade? We're about to tell him something that's bigger than well, technically he knows because he talks about other movies and other timelines, Warner Brothers, for example. So he's self-aware that this is a movie. He's aware of all the other worlds. So by him, well, being aware of it, will he be okay with us yanking him from his universe and letting him know you can stay here, but just watch your other universe die? Oh, because Mr. Paradox said instead of watching it die slowly, we'll do it faster because we've got this time ripper machine. What? Dude, man, that is a boring ass story. Soft, weak, and sour. And I haven't even got the time right now to say I can come up with a better one. Give me a week. Yeah. I don't know how long it took these guys to write this story. So if it took them that long, give me some time too. I'm not going to rush it up on the spot. But that's not a good story. That's three things wrong right there. Mr. Paradox has his own plans. He believes in his own head. We can tell this fourth wall breaking character, this was going to happen to your timeline. And then the higher ups just said, oh, because you're part of a grand scheme of things, he's okay. He'll be okay with it. How would you feel, Mr. Higher Up, if you got told the same thing? And then only for the movie to end by other TVA agents still finding a way to finagle the timeline and the timeline still survives. So then why did we have to watch this movie? Why did we have to go through the exact same nonsense? Because Wade asked Paradox, is there a way we can fix this? They said there isn't. Have to kill the timeline. But the movie ends with the timeline still surviving. So now you're lying in the TVA? So TVA now can just do anything. Of course we can do anything with the TVA. So gravity to your concept. No weight. There's no soul to your concept. It's just stuff. We need to sell toys. It's a business. Stop whining, Jedi. Stop making noise. I deliberately went online to find out popular YouTubers who didn't like this movie, and I'm glad to hear they're breaking things down in an intelligent manner. What is if a movie can't serve its purpose in terms of telling a good story, a heartwarming story, something you put yourself in the character's shoes? If I was Wolverine, how would I feel? If I was Deadpool, how would I feel? If I was Elektra, you want to be able to put yourself in the situation and be like, oh my god, oh boy. That's why till this day everybody be like, oh, all the Avengers movies, all the movies, all the Marvel movies made up until Infinity War were dope. Everyone always stops there and just about nudges and says, oh, an Endgame. Everyone always hits Infinity War. Every Marvel movie ever released up until Infinity War and Endgame, they always say end rather than saying both as one story, even though yes, it's two movies, but it's still one story. Because collectively, in the psyche, there's still this agreeable thing that Infinity War is the sweeter one out of both Infinity War and Endgame. They're both sweet, but Infinity War is the sweeter one. I'm not saying Endgame is bad, but Infinity War is the sweeter one. They're both beautiful, but yo, everyone felt it. Normally in the cinema, I'm the guy who would wail out from time to time when the action scene is cool. I'm like, ooh, ooh, damn, involuntarily. I don't do it just to piss off people, but I involuntarily. When Tony got stabbed in the gut by Thanos, I was like, oh. I literally went, no, literally. I was like, nah, 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 nah. Yeah, I can't kill my boy. You got a comment from Sister Constance. If they went back in time and became children with the boy, what? What if they went back in time and became children with the boy? Which boy? You mean Deadpool 2? When Cable came back in time. The Deadpool and Wolverine have to defeat him. The child no get stuck in child state. Now you're creating a whole new story. I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest. A child Deadpool and Wolverine. I wouldn't mind seeing that. There's something cool about that. That could have been cool. That could have been the whole. Don't take the movie so seriously. It's a funny thing with some level of seriousness. That'd have been cool. There's an episode of Justice League. I don't know if it's Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, where there was a grand spell casted by one of the villain's sons, and it turned every adult into, well, not every adult. It transported every adult from the world or from Earth into some interdimensional realm. But I don't know what happened to. I think it was Batman, Green Lantern, and Superman. Was it Batman, Green Lantern, Superman, and Wonder Woman? Four of them. I think they were being something was off or something was up. And when the spell was casted, instead of sending them to the alternate dimension where every adult ended up and left the children alone on Earth, they got turned into children. So watching that episode was really dope. It was just cool to see how they pulled that off. So I think because my brain remembered that, I was like, you know what? I think that's an interesting idea you got there, Constance. Deadpool as a child and Wolverine as a child. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I didn't like the movie out of many things. The fight scene between Wolverine and Deadpool the second time around was boring. The first time made sense. First time was perfect because when he woke up after getting knocked out by that the beer or whatever he drank, he passed out. That's when Deadpool pulled him out of his timeline back into the TVA. He's like, okay, cool. Here's a Logan. Now fix my timeline. Then Mr. Paradox is like, oh, it doesn't work like that. You can't carry over one whatever character and put him here. I think he said he wasn't the anchor of that world. But yet the movie ended and Wade's timeline still survives. So all that waffle he was doing was pointless. If anything, he's the cause of all the noise all the problem Wade was going through. Because you took him out. You took him out and said the higher ups. Now I don't even know if the higher ups thing was a lie or the truth, because he was off grid. So if you're off grid, then why did you specifically pick Deadpool? You wanted to team up. You see, so even the movie, from what I remember clearly, it doesn't the movie doesn't fully address that the higher ups thing was a lie or not. And maybe I forgot. Maybe because I'm so pissed at the movie, I'm not holding on to the information properly. And yeah, I'll watch it again, but not paying for it. I'll find clips online, and you don't establish that. Oh, he was lying all this time. There was no higher ups. There was nothing. Because he said he was going to talk about superiors, and then he said, "Oh, you've been lying off grid thing." So now it makes it a personal vendetta. Then he tells them, saying, I want the TVA to run a particular way. When I heard the I was like, oh, there's no way. Y'all ain't trying to convince me that this guy should be allowed to think like this, because we know what Loki went through with the TVA from season 1 and 2. So Loki is aware of what's going on, but I guess he can't talk to everyone, whatever. Fine, All the other characters who went through what, who saw what Loki went through. You're saying you're going to reset things and make this place run more efficiently. Don't use your excuse and saying, "Oh, because you're still in the process of making things run more efficiently." You should have shut down every quadrant of your TVA where people who cannot be trusted don't, even their tempad device, shut it down. The same way you got shut down in the first or second season of Loki, shut everyone's tempad down completely. Then you rally up the troops and figure out who's for you or who's for the grand scheme of things. And anyone who is not, all right, cool, salute, bye bye. Men in Black wipe their mind, send them back to where they came from. If they're clones or whatever it is, if they're clones and copies, whatever it is, wipe their mind, send them back. Otherwise, you're spoiling this whole thing. You're having to lean on the TVA to make your story flow. Remove the TVA. How do you get Wolverine and Logan to come together? Without the TVA, if you remove the TVA, there's no Deadpool and Wolverine. No TVA, no Deadpool and Wolverine. So it sucks, man. Really sucks. That's definitely an interesting storyline. You got that, Constance. Interesting storyline. Let me see if the poll was answered. Did I make the poll? Did I finish the poll? Okay, let me do it real quick. In terms of the cameo, I enjoyed the the Henry Cavill cameo as Wolverine and Wesley Snipes as Blade. I liked the Gambit, but my two most enjoyed, like really surprising, even when Wesley's scene came up in the cameo, that one too. That's the one that got my reaction. The rest was like, I was, I smiled a bit or I smirked here and there. But Blade came on the screen. I was like, oh no, literally. That one got me, got a vocal reaction out of me. But in terms of hold on, let me get this poll going. Logan and Wolverine Origin. Which one is better? Which one is better? And everyone was saying they like. If you're saying all the cameos in this movie don't carry over into the future, except for Wolverine and X-23. Even that one, I guess, if you're because we got a visual confirmation that those two stayed. We got to see them, not just a verbal thing. We got to see them. Then I'm okay with Wesley Snipes not coming back to play Blade, because there was an interview recently I saw on Instagram, and he was saying he had to get in shape to play Blade again, just to do that role. And he was even asking Ryan Reynolds, what will it entail? What will the scene involve and whatnot? Maybe go. Give me a second, people. People, give me a second. Let me test the audience, man. Let me see what's popping. Yes, X-Men Origins Wolverine versus Logan. Which one is better? I'm gonna get this list ready as well because I'm not in the mood for no nonsense. When I get this list ready, then we'll see. I gotta test people, man. Movies are subjective, yes, but I gotta test folk. I see where their mind's at. Gotta see where their mind's at. Not in the mood for nonsense anymore. I like when we can all be honest and say this movie was good, but or was bad here. Not just joining the crowd and the audience and just collectively saying this is not a good movie. And if you always remove something from your movie and it doesn't flow, then it's something off. Whereas if you remove something and the movie still flows, then it's like, okay, well, you didn't technically need that part of the movie. So my favorite part for sure was Henry Cavill and Blade. I was like, oh dude, I never thought of Henry Cavill playing Wolverine, but just seeing him, like if they had done a fan casting, I'd be like, I guess. There was one with what's the guy who played Harry Potter again? Can't remember his name because I know he's bulked up recently. Daniel Radcliffe. It's almost like someone saying Daniel Craig for Wolverine, but people then argue his accent, age, all these things. Now people tend to pull up these things, especially age, a lot more because if you're going to cast a new Wolverine, everyone's hoping you want to cast him at the right age so that way he's able to do more movies, physically as well. Because thanks to Hugh Jackman, we now know that. I mean, you could argue that every actor or actress has to go through some form of training, but Hugh Jackman was very vocal about what it takes to train his body or his physique, to get in shape for Logan. Oh, sorry, for Wolverine. I mean, that's his name, Logan. Both. So ever since I've got that in my head, when I hear people or when I hear movie studios thinking of recasting a character, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely going to go for a particular age, mid 30s onwards, or maybe early or late 30s, something like that. Then if you're saying, oh, we're doing a TV show or TV series and we're trying to do a prequel, I'm like, okay, cool, they're casting younger. They're definitely casting younger. Where if you're saying new X-Men group, everyone, even me, just like everyone else is now thinking, what are we getting? Teenagers or adults? Because the adult X-Men we got from X-Men 1 all the way to Days of Future Past and all the roles they played in between, they were fine for me. The only one thing I had a problem with the first X-Men was not Xavier. Magneto. I was like, oh, they could have found someone else. I love Ian McKellen, and he played that role beautifully. But they could have found someone else, just so there's more action scenes, more fight scenes with Magneto. So when they casted Michael Fassbender for Magneto, I was like, okay, that makes sense too, because then we have more time, to have him shoot more movies because he's young, he's still spry. We can have more fight scenes, flying scenes, rope scenes, and all that stuff. There's we can get more action out of him. Whereas you cast someone who's old, then nah, the stunts won't be as satisfying to watch. And I'm not saying you shouldn't cast old actors or actors in their old years or whatever. No, I'm just saying because of how Hollywood tends to do these things. When they're planning on projects based on how they've been doing things so far, especially with Marvel, they don't seem to be like, oh, let's just shoot one movie. It's always this whole they'll sign them on for like 6 contracts because you're looking to do 6 movies, where it's a you know standalone movie, and then another movie where he or she gets to piggyback off another character, or duo movie. So maybe if they start working on shooting things back to back, it'll be better for them without having to wait for years in between. For example, look at Mahershala Ali, who's supposed to be the new Blade in the Marvel universe, and then you have Wesley Snipes come back to cameo for Blade, and then within that cameo, there's a dialogue in the movie where Blade says there's only one Blade, or there can only be one Blade, and everyone in the cinema was like, okay, it's funny, it's a cool dialogue, but this is a movie based on a character who fourth wall breaks a lot. So are you just saying that as a character, or and even that too felt like I didn't even pay attention because that's like a mini fourth wall break for Blade. Blade doesn't fourth wall break. Only Deadpool does that. So was Blade self aware about Deadpool breaking the fourth wall? I was like, wait, or was he saying it because of the different variants in the world? So that means by him saying that, there hasn't been any other Blade variant in the galaxy, because of course they're in the void where they're aware of multiple versions of one character or multiple variants of one character. But that means he wouldn't have come across multiple variants of himself. So I was like, oh, that's a neat line to say, but it's not respectful per se. It's funny, but Mahershala Ali hasn't. There's nothing has kicked off the ground yet, and I'm still wondering why Marvel hasn't done a dark sector or section. Not funny, not Agatha Harkness, not Scarlet Witch. Those are gimmicks. I'm talking pure R-rated. This is horror. This is a monster that when he kills or it kills, nobody's coming back to life. The monster is killing and killing. There's no resurrection. Dracula, maybe. We taking souls. I'm raising the army of the dead kind of thing. Behind the scenes. There's like, okay, there's no armor of nano that can fight this. There's no Hulk smash that can fight this. Guess what we need? Magicians, people who understand dark magic and stuff. I get your Blade, get your Doctor Strange, get your magic wielding. If only Scarlet Witch was alive, shoot, maybe get Agatha. That would be nice to see. A team up with Agatha Harkness and Doctor Strange and Blade. The same way James Gunn pulled off the combination of all these characters, unlikely characters together for Guardians of the Galaxy. Try that. That formula worked with Guardians. How about trying it with all these different characters who you would, the audience wouldn't think straight away, oh, Agatha and Doctor Strange, that'll be a beautiful team up. Try that. They might bake it together. They might be like, well, that spell won't work. You don't know how to really cast spell. Or you're just a guy wearing a necklace who just happened to get called um um what's his name again? Sorcerer Supreme. Whereas she's pure witch. How would that look like on screen? Maybe have them bicker for like 75% of the movie and then work together and be like, all right, cool. I salute you. I see you. You see, yeah. Then respect each other and then go about their ways. And then nothing happens again. Maybe then have her as part of the Comertage, or what's the name of his why am I drawing blanks today so much, man? What's the name of his place again? Sanctum Sanctorium. That'd be nice. I think that'd be actually cool to see. Strange and Agatha Harkness working together. And then that might change. You can do the whole anti hero thing, yeah. But when it's serious business, we're trying to stop something that if we don't stop, it will annihilate us and it'll warp the environment and become. You're about to turn Earth into like just like the Matrix thing, a battery farm where you're using it as an area for energy draining or casting a darker spell into the cosmos to do like a battery farm, or like a hen. Is it the hen? Yeah, battery farm. Let me use that term. You want to turn Earth slowly but surely to just use it to just draw energy over and over again, and you use the people to cast spells that they don't know they're casting spells to feed you as a demon or feed you as a external deity, something like that. Y'all can do some great work, man. Y'all can do some really, really solid, beautiful storytelling. What the hell do I know? I'm just a black guy on the internet recording his rant about the Deadpool movie and his dismay about it. And ever since all the Disney Plus stuff that has come out, some people like some stuff, some people don't. Some I can't even remember. Just been lackluster. The only thing I can say has weight is the What If series. Those are beautiful. Or that was beautiful. I enjoy that very much. But the other stuff, forgettable. This could have been the time where they really sat down and took time to just flesh things out, and Loki started weaving something behind closed doors where magic is becoming rampant now. And instead of having to do all this, oh, something has come up, oh, but Thor's off world, um, Doctor Strange is off dimension, or this is it becomes too gimmicky. Put them in a situation where they're like, we have to come together to fix this thing, and yo, no Iron Man suit is stopping this. No, Black Widow's Sting wristband is stopping this. No Hawkeye bow and arrow is stopping this. We need a magician. And maybe that's when you'll be like, okay, Doctor Strange is not even here. All right, cool. Scarlet Witch is dead, supposedly. All right, I find someone. I get the Harkness. Who is she? Then you just pull it in. And she'll be like, yo, maybe we make a few jokes. I need some payment for this stuff. I'm trying to save your life. So with just light humor. Don't make it too. Don't focus on the thing. Light humor. Then when she's like, yo, it's becoming out of my pay grade. We need to get Strange out of it. Then she maybe pulls Strange from wherever he is. I'm like, yo, I pulled you from wherever you are. We need your help. He could be like, yo, do you know what I was dealing with over there? What we need you here. Then it could be like a double thing. So that there's no correlation yet. He's dealing with something that he thinks is real serious, not knowing there's something or some things behind the scenes pulling 2 to 3 jobs simultaneously. So where they can see there's a connection, the beings behind closed doors know what they're doing. They're playing all the magicians, having them scattered around. But Agatha's like, yo, I needed you here. Otherwise, we'd have been finished. Then maybe she loses an arm or something, or she can't cast a spell properly. She needed someone who's stronger or is as strong as her. It depends. Then you start your team up there. Oh my! I would watch that. I would watch that and enjoy the heck out of it, because there'll be back and forth banter. You might do the whole man woman whatever nonsense, who was the first magician, women. Then you could even throw in the Salem trials thing, dude. Dude, there's mockery there too. You just put on a necklace and someone dubbed you the Sorcerer Supreme. Like I said earlier on, I'm full witch. I've been casting spells for ages. I'm older than you. You could throw that in as well. That would be a beautiful show to watch, man. Instead, you gave us Vision and Scarlet Witch and expect everyone to just jump on board and be like, yeah, that's a beautiful story. Nah. Anyway, I thought I'd jump in here and just make a little more noise about this nonsense movie. And I don't even know how serious Marvel is about what they've done with Deadpool because everyone's asking questions now. So is Blade permanent, or is he was he just as he was in the movie a cameo? And also, if Henry Cavill is open to playing Wolverine, is Marvel open to doing a separate Elseworld story with Henry Cavill as Wolverine? You know, is that possible? Or what if, since you had multiple Deadpools in this one movie, what if you have a story where Henry Cavill and Hugh Jackman team up as two different Wolverines? That could be a cool story. That could be a cool story, you know. So yeah. But I enjoyed the cameos. I feel that's the best part for me was the cameos and the song they were playing when each of the characters were coming through. When Electra came through, that was cool. But when Blade came through, I was like, oh, whatever song that is, it is fire. Then there was a little edit they did for when Gambit walked through. There was a little meow. Then the beat changed. I've been googling the hell out of that, and I don't know if it was a beat made specifically for the movie, or the song already exists and they just used that song for the scene. I'm still googling the heck out of that song. It was a beautiful upbeat song, man. It was nice. It added to the slow mo walking to the room cameo thing. Blade was a massive surprise. I so wanted to see more of Henry Cavill. So want that's a character I never thought in my head. Yeah, it'd be cool to see him play Wolverine. Until I saw it, I was like, yeah, please. If Marvel is serious, they could pull it off. That's if Henry's open to it. I don't want to hope for something and an actor has to be convinced with so much money that he or she doesn't feel they fit the role until they're given a dump truck of money. If Henry Cavill is open to it as a long-term thing, maybe a one of full movie where he and Hugh Jackman tag team as two different Wolverines dealing with a situation. You write the story in an intelligent manner so that way it's palatable to the audience. Then I'm gravy. You know, I don't know if I want to see both of them with Deadpool. Maybe that could work. Maybe that could work. But this movie just had, I think it had too much jokes. Not every joke banged. I was glad to see that as well when people were doing reviews. A lot of people were saying some jokes were funny, not all of them. So I thought I was the only one. I was like, there's a lot of jokes I just heard. I was like, why? Why did he? Is that another ad lib? That wasn't funny. We didn't even need so much. The ones you were just dropping before were very, very good. Leave it alone, and let the scene breathe. Yes, Merc with the mouth, but let the scene breathe a little. We get it. You're the funny guy. You're the one-liners. You're the fourth wall breaking, but let the scene breathe a little. That's why I was like, the fight scene between him and Wolverine, the first time when they got kicked into the void, I like that. That makes sense. But then you make him fight in the car. I was like, you lost me now, bro. You have lost me completely. It's a shame. Massive shame. Why would you do that? And then Cassandra Nova. Oh my God. I don't even know what she's about, man. Have no idea what she's about. Like, what do you want to do here? She's so powerful. She could have ended their lives if she wanted to. But I guess it's one of those things where it's like, well, I know how powerful I am. I don't need to. I guess. But if she wanted to, she could have ended their lives. I wonder if she could have killed Eliath. I wonder if that's how powerful she is. But instead, just left it the way it was. I was like, I don't know who's more of a threat, she or Paradox lying to Deadpool saying, "Oh, your timeline is getting erased." But higher ups have said we need to. Now I'm thinking to myself, like I said earlier on, I don't even know if that whole story is true anymore. Meaning the higher ups saying, "Come out of there. bring Deadpool out, and he needs to be part of a bigger. I don't know anymore, because if you could lie like that so much, and then at the end of the movie, Deadpool's timeline is saved based on having Wolverine in that timeline and having the other TVA members saying we can fix it. It maybe they explained in the fourth movie why it works, but they didn't explain it in this one. I'm about to go even watch Screen Rant's pitch meeting. Hopefully they touch on these things as well, because I know that guy that guy has the way he breaks down some movies sometimes. I'm like, boy, yeah, I like the way he calls out the stupidity in certain movies, especially certain TV shows, like The Acolyte. Oh my gosh! So when Marvel or Disney is pulling stunts like that, for example, especially with The Acolyte, I can't trust you with certain things. I can't look forward to certain things anymore. And for all I care, I could be sitting here saying I would love to see a Henry Cavill Wolverine movie, and then when they do it, it sucks. I think what we have in our head is one thing, but what Marvel wants to do is like there's no love, there's no joy, there's no passion, there's no desire anymore. It's just we can do it, let's do it, sell toys, sell tickets, make money. You can still sell toys, sell tickets, and make money when you tell a great story. And that's what I feel this movie was lacking: a great story, or good story, a substantial story, very comprehensive and cohesive story. So that way, if you take out one part, the movie doesn't work. So that way, everything is important, everything is necessary. We see on screen. If Mr. Paradox was dealt with in time, what would have happened to Deadpool? Would the timeline have erased, or even that if the timeline was erasing and Deadpool noticed, how would Deadpool have reached the TVA? I think the TVA shouldn't have had anything to do with with Deadpool. Maybe have the time travel device where he goes. I don't know. Maybe he gets stuck in a timeline where the X-Men are there, and there's a extinction level event thing happening, and Wolverine survives. He tells Wade, "Use your time machine to undo." He's like, "I can't. This was even a random thing." Maybe, but that's just off the dome. Maybe if I take time and sit down and really craft the story, it'll come out differently, or I'll find a better way to tell the story. But as for now, off my dome, no. But the story I was given with this Deadpool 3 movie, useless, absolutely useless. So to date, so far, I've watched the first Deadpool movie 3 times. The second one also 3 times. If you ask me how many times I've watched the first Avengers movie, first Avengers movie, first Iron Man movie, and then Infinity War, I can't give you a number. I cannot give you a number. I've rewatched that movie over and over again. Another movie I'm going to watch again this weekend, because I really want to talk about him a lot. One of my favorite characters in the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is Doctor Strange. In fact, two of my favorite characters are Doctor Strange and Iron Man. I love them both. I love them both. Just a subtle, the way they've become who they are. With Doctor Strange, there was a subtle reluctance. I just came here to fix my hand so I can go back to my life and still remain that awesome surgeon that I was. Maybe a little upgrade here and there. Nothing wrong with that. You can't fault the character. He's so used to a particular life. He's gone through all the money he's got, or most of the money he's got. He's tried to, even the way he got the crash was hubris. Hubris thing on his part. You're driving and you're supposed to be paying attention to the road, but you're like, it's cool, guys. It's me, whatever. I'm driving. Okay, cool. Check, check, check. And then he misses one or two things and crashes. Beautiful story. And even in the What If series, when he's trying to save Christine, he's like, I can save Christine. Just such a short space of time, but beautiful story. 30-minute episode, but beautiful story. It's almost like the same thing with the Netflix series, Love, Death, and Robots. 15-minute shorts or 10-minute shorts, but yet you're like, dude, some of those stories are so awesome. You want to see more of them. You want to see more of the characters in that world they've created. There was this crab one, I can't remember what season it was, where the crab wanted to eat and wanted to go to an island called Theoden Island. because the crab had children and it found a way to communicate with the captain of the ship by using a dead body to communicate. My God, one of the creepiest, darkest stories in that short series. Love, Death, and Robots. Just type in Love, Death, and Robots crab story. Beautiful story for a short story. That thing was so powerful. Yo, I was freaked out. I was like, God damn. My brother and I watched that thing. The conversation was extensive. What would you do if you're in this guy's shoes as the captain of the ship? Beautiful, and that's It's a short story. How are you pulling that off with a short? How? What magic are those guys pulling off in a short story that y'all can pull off in an hour, 30 minutes? What's going on over there? What writers are you getting? Why don't you? Why is there a law saying studios can employ or hire out particular writers or storytellers from different projects? Because if I was Feige and I saw that, I'm like, yo, even if I had an entourage and people came to me and said, yo, you need to check out that show was fire. That story was dope. That's what you need to do, dude. I mean, not every story in Love, Death, and Robots series was awesome. Some were good, some were like throwaway, and it's fine because it's supposed to be a compendium of different writers, different storytellers, different whatever, different animation style. Yeah, but some of those stories stuck out, man. Especially that crab story. That thing was creepy but good. Theoden Island. Oh my God, dude. What about Brock? Deathpool. I like how YouTube just throws random people in your life sometimes. I'm like, what? Brock isn't that Brooke or Brock? Isn't that supposed to be what about Brooke? I got my glasses on. That's Brooke. I thought I was Brock from like Dragon Ball Z. They'd be throwing some random people in your lives. I mean, more eyes the merrier. The more eyes the merrier. Man, just give us some good stories, man. That's all we're asking for. Good, substantial, powerful stories. Good, substantial, powerful stories. Anyway, I'm gonna do a separate video for why I love Doctor Strange so much, especially when it came to Infinity War and he had to use that Io Agamotto. Woo, ooh wee. You know shit hit the fan when you're like, yo, this Titan dude, this Thanos guy, is he strong? Oh, yeah, he beat Hulk. If you beat Hulk and you succeeded in beating Hulk so much he went back to his human form, you think me in my regular, because I know magic form, will beat this guy? I need to sit down and levitate and figure out a way to defeat this guy. That was a very tactical, smart way to use the Eye of Agamotto. Fear, panic, yes, but smart, because you're like, if I don't do this, I don't know what we can do. I don't know if what we plan to do now will work. So it was just beautiful. Tony Stark, same thing. You're selling weapons. It's a shame that one of them gets used against you. You end up in, with the shrapnel close to your heart. You're like, yo, I gotta clean up house. I gotta change my ways. And then you got people who you were employing. You got your is it Tobias, the guy who he works with? Like, yo, what do you mean? Your dad's been doing this. Why do you want to change the whole ethos and the motto all of a sudden? Everyone now becomes your enemy. Everyone thinks you're trying to take away their jobs, their money. He's like, nah, I'll still pay them, but we're just not doing this. Beautiful story. You have to go through so much. In a real life scenario, that's a beautiful, beautiful experience. You've employed people who are skilled at what they do. Now you're gonna lay them off, or you're gonna stop this project, stop that project. You stop funding for people's rent, people's lifestyle. They're gonna panic. You're gonna create more enemies. People who have come to love you are gonna hate you, whereas people you've never known are misusing your tools and weapons any which way. Even when I can't remember his name, his second in command was like, dude, of course we're doing stuff behind closed doors. You have to have known that. You had what are you, naive? Sit your ass down. You've been in a cave. You were kidnapped at school. We see it. You're a little stressed out. Wusa, take a break. We'll take it from here. We'll take over. You do your thing over there. You do your publicity stuff. We'll do the things behind closed doors. So it makes sense. The story arc he went through. It makes sense. What is that? Is that a bug? It is a bug. I don't even know what that is. What bug that is. I don't want to go and crush a bug and be sleeping in bug juice. Yeah, my bad. I don't know what bug that was, but I was like, no, sorry, Bob. We don't want bugs in our on our personage. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that's my rant done for now. I'll be doing another live again because YouTube trying to mess up my other video the other day. I was like, no, 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 no. I was on for an hour. You will honor that hour. Trying to cut my video in half. Y'all are crazy. Y'all do some shady stuff behind closed doors. YouTube. Y'all are messed up. You will honor my hour. Everyone must be allowed to express their dismay or their love for whatever. It's funny how it's like they're trying to push more. I could be wrong. Maybe some conspiracy theory, whatever I'm saying. And you're trying to push more videos that are saying Deadpool 3 movies is a good movie, it's an awesome movie. If you don't go waste money to see it, waste money to go see it. I would say wait till digital or Blu-ray. I would say wait till it comes out on digital or Blu-ray, and then you can check it out and see for yourself. And when you find people skipping scenes, that proves to me that means yeah, some parts of the movies, it's not really working. And you could argue that yeah, there are some great movies out there that you still skip scenes. Yeah, only one or two people will be honest to admit that they skip a few scenes in Infinity War. I've never skipped any scene in Avengers Infinity War. If anything, I've taken back, never skipped forward. That's one of my criteria of saying what a good movie is. And then the rewatchability. With Deadpool 3 on Blu-ray, when it comes out and when it comes out in digital, the scenes that people will deem as rewatchable will be the cameos and maybe the fight scenes. But as a whole movie, uh, I'm. In fact, I'll wait till it comes out. I like to see how people describe that. I like to see what people say about that. Honestly, I think, yeah, I think the most rewatch scenes on that if Disney was to do like hold on, if Disney was to do like a whole, you know, collective data thing, there would be a large number of people rewatching the cameos. If if Disney was to archive that, it'd be like, yeah, the most watched part of the Deadpool 3 digital movie was the cameos, and then the fight scenes between Wolverine and Deadpool. And I wonder which fight scenes will be rewatched the most: the first time they fought, when they ended up in the void, or the second time in the car. And then if you ask which scenes did each character give the best performance, Deadpool, Wolverine, I feel a lot of people would say in the car when he had the dialogue, the one-on-one conversation with Deadpool. And I don't know about Deadpool himself, which scene I can't remember. I don't know what part of the movie where I feel he gave the best performance. Even towards the end as well, when he was supposed to go and save the world, it was still gimmicky and playful. It just spoiled the tone. Yeah, I can't remember. Oops. I feel the best scene, or one of the best scenes, I guess, or best performance, sorry, shall I say, for Wolverine was when he was in the car ripping into Wade, because there was a hint of all that anger he was expressing towards Wade, which is true. There's also some of that was also meant for him. It's like he's talking to himself and Wade at the same time. I feel that was one of the best performances Wolverine gave in terms of emotional delivery, not just action, but just emotional and dialogue. Yeah, that part I was like, yeah, that one hit me because I felt bad for Wade. I was like, oof, oof, because you know why Deadpool is doing what he's doing, but he's also right. Wolverine is also right for saying what he said because you've kidnapped someone. You haven't didn't have time to ask for his help, and you're desperate. I get it, but now it's the time where okay, we need to formulate a proper plan and see, what we can do when we meet these survivor guys. The Flame on Johnny Storm, aka Chris Evans, aka Captain America cameo, didn't care for it. Didn't care for it. I wish Pyro did something with his powers. All he did was suck the fire away from Johnny Storm. He himself didn't use or display his powers at all. That was stupid to me. Very, very stupid. Waste of the character. X-23, we didn't get to see enough of her do her action stuff. The fight scenes when she was on screen, boring. Wasn't beautiful enough. Considering the tag team they had her do with Logan in the Logan movie. Beautiful. Why didn't you just bring that back? Why it'd be cool to have her do a jump off the back from the new Wolverine we're getting onto someone else. So it's one thing to show us the cameos. Oh, X-23, Elektra, Blade. We got some good screen time with Blade. We definitely got some good screen time with Gambit. It made sense they even gave good screen time with Gambit. But I wanted enough. If you the live I did yesterday, this stupid thing cut it out. If you had um taken away the second fight between Wolverine and Deadpool in the car, I feel you could have used that same time that you spent on that fight scene. You could have used that some of that same time and given enough. Given you could distribute the time between X-23, Elektra, Deadpool, and Gambit. So that way we get to see enough of them do their thing. Maybe a tag team like when one scene where X-23 called on Blade, I think he launched her off his arm. That was nice, but I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more. We get to see Daphne Keene come back and reprise her role with another Wolverine. I wanted to see a back-to-back, a berserker combo. Like, let Wolverine shine. What you guys couldn't pull off in the other previous movies, pull it off now. The one thing the fans have been asking for in terms of combos and moves, just like where Wolverine does certain combos in the X-Men versus Capcom or Marvel versus Capcom games, you know, since you're doing a fourth wall break and you call out to this and call out to that, why not? Why not? Where's the Berserker combo? Where's the video game like action scene? Bring it in so that we can soak it in and enjoy. Instead, the camera work was so shaky, shoddy, too fast. Then they changed the scene and focused. And then there was once that same scene where they were driving the car to the hideout, the Paul Rudd dead body hideout. And then they saw them coming, but no one had a big cannon. Nightcrawler, not Nightcrawler. What's his name? Azazel. Azazel is a dangerous character. Anybody who can teleport from point A to B can mess you up. They can teleport you into half of your body into a wall and half of your body outside the wall. You're finished. You are finished. But he was used poorly. Then they got Juggernaut in, and people were like, "Oh, all the cameos." I don't call that a cameo. You got the costume, but not the same actor. Pyro, like I said, didn't do anything. Instead, when he came to the right time to do what he needed to do, this is what makes the story sour and faulty as well. He could have easily killed Cassandra Nova, but instead he shot her in the belly. And I thought to myself, you don't have a lighter on you? Or he's just there but can use his powers. And why? So therefore, why is he there? Another cameo. But it's a useless cameo. You don't even serve a purpose in terms of cannon fodder. You shot someone that you are now assigned to kill. This is someone you said you didn't like. And your one chance came and you decided to shoot her in the belly and maybe in the chest, not even in the head for good measure. Weak writing, weak story. Because if you had done that, your movie's done. Or maybe your movie's not done because you could say the third act doesn't play out. Then it'd be a shorter movie. Because maybe they grab a hold of her sling ring. They open the porthole, but then again, Pyro wouldn't have let that happen because Pyro is supposed to stop her and stop them as well. Stupid, man. You saying, oh, because she talks too much or blah, blah, and I didn't like you, don't like you, you get on my nerves, and instead, he shot her in the chest area. Dude, if I didn't like someone and I'm stuck somewhere, and my job was to kill this person and I get to come back, the fact that I even have a phone on me where Mr. Paradox can come anytime, shoot her in the face, chest, face, and head, and then burn her just to make sure. You who your firepower doesn't come natural to you like Johnny Storm. You need a lighter. You can manipulate the fire, but you cannot create it. You should have lighters on you at all times. So it was not well written and well crafted for everything to play off nicely, to be a cohesive system where every character you see on screen is doing something at any given moment. Like I said, when this car runs through, they all pull out. It's in the trailer. They pull out in with the guns, and I'm like, why aren't you shooting? I literally looked at my brother saying, this is a bad scene. There are about three characters with guns to the right, three characters with guns to the left, and there are no AK-47s. There are no arrowheads. They're not Desert Eagles. They're not Magnums. They're looking like some space cannons, some space guns with lasers and whatnot. I'm like, this is where you start shooting. Why would you wait for them to come from yonder into your hideout, stop the car, open the doors, and not they still didn't shoot? Then Wolverine puts out his claws. X-23 does the same thing. They all do the, little pose. They didn't even service the audience to do the typical Avengers camera panning. I'll watch it again, but they did not do it. Wasn't satisfactory. Everybody remembers that rotation around the Avengers character from the first Avengers movies. At least give them that. Since you're doing fourth wall breaking, you're doing callback to this movie or 21st century, this, da, 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 give us that. We didn't ask for no cameos. You surprised us. Let us see the cameos be used substantially. Used enough. So when we live the movie, we're like, it was cool. But the fight scene, though, with the cameos, god damn, that's a double combo. Did you expect X-23? Even though she was in trailer, I didn't think she was going to come through. I didn't think Blade was going to come through. But the fight scenes, the combos, the team-ups, the tag team, oh my god, the way they did this, yes. Doesn't overshadow Wolverine, doesn't overshadow Deadpool. It adds to it. I love when Deadpool and Wolverine are doing their thing, but dude, did you see the way Blade threw X-23? Did you see the way Elektra threw her blade and her sai, and then Blade caught it and used it and threw it back to her? Did you see the way Gambit charged this? Come on, guys. Come on. And everyone's out here just sucking air, nuts dry. Oh, yeah, what a great movie. No, it is not a great movie. It is lacking in many areas, man. You have a villain so superpowered, she didn't need to be in this movie. Cassandra Nova did not need to be in this movie. And they couldn't even make her fight. I didn't even understand how her powers worked, because they said they had to put Juggernaut's helmet on her head, which is supposed to numb her powers. I was like, that's interesting. I've never heard that in any X-Men story, where if they had Juggernaut's helmet on Xavier's head, his psychic powers done. And it looks like she has self-healing powers, I think. Or because she I don't know how she didn't die. I guess she's very different from Xavier. I thought she was just a copy of Xavier, only a darker version of Xavier and a female version of Xavier. Because she's telepathic like Xavier. She walks like Xavier doesn't walk. She doesn't need no wheelchair. She's telekinetic, but she can manipulate. So what is that? What's that power called then? Or can a telekinetic do the same thing? Because the way she pulled off the skin from Johnny Storm, I was like, oh shit, that means you can manipulate time and space or whatever. You can fiddle around with people's physical anatomy. And is that what Xavier is capable of? Or because he's so powerful, that's why he's like, I don't want to run around being like a bully to all the people on the planet. Hence, let me make my Xavier school. It'd be cool to know if that's what Xavier can pull off. What the display of her power, I was confused at times, because when she got shot, and then they removed the helmet, she's still standing. So I'm like, okay, that means she healed herself. Then if that's the case, can Xavier do that? Or the only difference is, the only similarities she shares with Xavier is just that they shared a womb together and they're siblings. Whereas her powers is also regeneration and the telekinesis and mind reading thing. I think I'm going to Google. Her power set just to understand what she's like compared to Xavier. Because the time she got shot, I was like, okay, now she's done. Then they took off the helmet. I was like, well, I'm confused now. So the helmet negates her psychic abilities and her powers? Nah, something is off about that. Maybe because I don't like the movie, I'm not letting that part of the story sink in. Yeah, Pyro was poorly used. Johnny Storm was just there for the sake of being there. Anybody who can turn their body into a fiery form and not get cooked up and fly, I would not. My first move would not to be to fire my fireball at someone. And as I realize my fire is not affecting the person, continue to do the fire. This person is not even getting scorched, or the body isn't getting steamed up. There's no steam off the body, so it makes sense to say, you know what? Let me just stop doing the fireball on this guy and do it on the other guy. It makes sense what Pyro did though. He snuffed out the fire, and even that I was like, okay, so that means when your fire is taken from you, you can turn it on and off. There's no way Pyro took out all the fire from you. Then you got people like me asking questions. So then, how does your firepower work? Do you need like a breather? Do you need like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes? And then at some point, it looked like he was handcuffed. But I was thinking to myself, was he handcuffed with a power dampening handcuff? Or is it that because Pyro snuffed out his fire, he really needs like a whole day to reset or 2 days? And that, again, now I'm like, that's poor writing. Because if you've done that with this character, when your new Fantastic Four movie comes out, I'm going to be asking the same question. I'm going to be asking the same question because if you can pull that off in this movie, that means Johnny Storm in the new Fantastic Four movie will have to have a timeout on his firepower and then reload. The same way a telekinetic person cannot always use a telekinetic. Well, that's how we're taught on TV. Let me not say that. There always seems to be this whole I've used my brain power too much. Let me reset. If that's what they've done with him, cool. Cool. Corny, but cool. It is what it is. And that scene was going on for long. He just kept using his fireball one long stream of flame onto Pyro. And Pyro looked like he was just absorbing it. I was like, dude, I think at some point you need to stop aiming your fire at this guy and at the other people. Since these guys are bad guys, don't focus your firepower, pun intended, on one person. He seems to be taking it. Whatever he's doing, I don't know whether he's swallowing it, drinking it. You know what? Let me just stop on you. Let me hit somebody else because now I know you can deflect my flame or it doesn't affect you. Let me just cook up these other guys. So that such a shame, man. This movie could have been completely epic from head to toe, and then the cameos would have been a great ass bonus. But instead, the cameos is the better part or the best part or the sweeter part or sweetest part or the most talked about part of the movie, amongst other things. Some people like the joke. Some people like the dog licking Ryan Reynolds' mouth. Oh my god, putrid, absolutely putrid. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Y'all liked it. They made it, and now it's breaking box office. Even that one too. I was like, yeah, of course it's gonna break box office. There's nothing in the cinema to challenge it. There's nothing really tight and real good. There's no kick-ass movies out there challenging this movie right now. So of course it's gonna dominate in the box office. Not surprised. And that must have been I don't know, dog corn for some people out there who love that nonsense. Open your mouth and let a dog's tongue just wag in your mouth. And that scene went on for long. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Not everyone likes this, Not everyone came here for this. You did it in the trailer, that was cool. He licked the mask, that was cool. Then he took the mask off and he just did. They were doing a back and forth scene. This guy was talking, the camera cut back to this guy. At one point, Wade wasn't even talking. We just saw his mouth open. Literally, Ryan Reynolds opened his mouth on set as the dog was just licking his teeth, lips, and oh god. I don't even care for any other movies coming out this year anymore. Agatha Harkness, I don't care for Disney Plus. Anything Marvel, don't care. Marvel to me now is dead. Completely, finally dead. Finally dead to me. I had a small ampule of hope left, but finally dead to me. Now, will I watch Agatha Harkness for review purposes? Oh hell yeah! Just like I did with the Acolyte series. Oh hell yes, I will. I will. To watch it for joy, like I'm looking forward to Agatha pulling, just winning over her naysayers. No, I don't care. I don't care. Captain America 2 next year, I don't care. Maybe maybe there's some curiosity for Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom, um, played by Robert Downey Jr. Maybe, but when I do my videos of why I love Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and why I love Doctor Strange, then maybe around that time I might gain some more interest or draw some more interest from the cosmos to be like, okay, I'm curious to see what they will do with the Fantastic Four. Robert Downey Jr. He can easily pull off the Doom thing based on what's written for him. I'm not going to sit down here and say the actor can do a great job. He did a great job based on how they wrote his character from Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. And as much as I love Iron Man, I prefer 1 and 2. 3, again, I'll skip forward. When watching 3, there are scenes where I'll skip forward. Some scenes I'm like, okay, I like this part. The Mandarin thing was sour. That's the one movie out of many, I assume, because I've forgotten, where I saw Marvel introduce the thing in the trailers. And then when the movie came out, even other people in the cinema were like, wait, what? He's the Mandarin. Or why does he sound like that? I was like, and people in the writers' room think, oh, we're gonna do a switcheroo. They're gonna love it. Dude, just because you love it doesn't mean everyone's gonna love it. Sometimes I think they forget that they're writing stories based off of an existing IP or existing stories where there are deep rooted hardcore fans who love the heaven and heck out of this. So what you think will be funny in your writer's room doesn't mean it's going to be funny for everyone, let alone the fans. Now, changing stories up so that way the fans don't spoil it for the newcomers, and the newcomers don't go and tell the fans don't go and tell the newcomers, read this comic. Changing the stories up and drawing stories from different parts of the different comic book series for a particular character makes sense. You want it for everyone, just like you do your test screening for test audience and whatnot, and the test screening is for zero fans. People don't even know what the hell a pool dead is. Who, Deadpool? Somebody was dead in the pool? Wolverine, is that like a shark? It makes sense. But just because you're testing with different audience who don't know what the hell is going on, you're trying to write a story that's palatable for everyone. Tell great stories. That's why people still go back to your Infinity War and Endgame stories, because they miss that. To some of those people, they're like, you guys were here with that. Ever since, y'all, you're not even on the charts. Where are you? What? Marvel? Who's Marvel? What's the Disney Marvel? Who is that? That's why people are saying, oh, Robert Downey Jr. come back for Doom. Desperate. I mean, people can say that about your whole plan and idea. For all we care, you probably had this game plan in your mind for eons. We don't know that. But from what we're getting so far, from all the Disney Plus shows, you've got Echo, you've got the Deadpool thing. No, sorry, not the Daredevil thing. It's no longer on Netflix. It was coming back to Marvel. Even that, you just announced things so prematurely. Oh, we're no longer doing this anymore. And then people start wailing and say, "Oh, we were just testing the audience to see how you guys would react." After a while, it gets sour and boring, dude. It gets boring. It gets boring. You got your Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, tight movies, tight. If you to ask people now, Marvel fans or Marvel MCU fans, not comic book fans, which of these two movies is the better one? Um, I can't believe I've drawn a blank. Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Thor 2? If I asked that in a room full of fans, they'd be like, bruh, are you smoking? Are you high? What kind of question is that? Yet, there's still some people who enjoyed your Thor 2. But collectively, we can all agree and say, hey, Captain America Winter Soldier is far better and superior than Thor 2. So when you're capable of doing that, we've seen that you've risen and fallen, and then you maintain the streak. You got that streak all the way up to Infinity War and Endgame, your best work yet. And then you come out with, you rushed Black Panther 2, dull movie. Dull movie. You gave such a good premise, such a very, very good premise, and yet lackluster villain. come on, man. Come on. You want money for the sake of wanting money. May his soul rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. We get that. Ain't nobody calling you guys out and saying, "Oh, you guys couldn't make a good movie because someone passed away." Nah, you don't rush it. Let it breathe. Let it breathe. When everyone's saying, "Oh, Shuri's gonna be the next Black Panther," I was like, no. Letitia Wright hasn't done any movie where she's played an action hero. If you're gonna rush this, you'd have to train her in time. Like I said when I started this live, Wesley Snipes, when he got the call or text or whatever from Ryan Reynolds, he was like, if you're gonna pull this thing off, cool. This is for a cameo. He said, yeah, I think again I could be wrong. He said he trained for a month, and he asked Ryan what fight scenes, what's the location, where we going, what we're gonna be doing for this thing. He said he couldn't tell him. He said, all right, cool, but I'm still gonna get ready anyway. So that means these things have to be discussed in advance. So that way your diet is changing in time at the right time. Your body's changing. Wesley Snipes said it as well. Yeah, his mind and body had to be right before he said, let's get ahead. He said, I'm cool with the concept, but let me know if your higher ups, Feige, Disney, Marvel, say it's cool. So when they called Wesley for the cameos, it sounded like a dope idea. It was good. I finally saw the interview because I was like, I would like to see him talk about this because Feige likes to dilly dally when it comes to all these big ass questions. I imagine before the cameras turn on, you can't ask that question. You can't talk about this. Not yet. You're not even free to ask the question of the person who's releasing these things where you're collecting our money to see this nonsense things you're releasing. I can't even ask you a straightforward question. You have people in the back like they got guns to your head. Not that. Not that. Those two things go. And camera. Action. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Deadpool 3. Yeah. I'm tired of Feige too. It looks like he's acting. Sometimes you can tell that he's excited about what he's talking about. You can tell, oh, this is a nerd. But it looks like he's memorized the script so much in his head. He's not even looking at the teleprompter anymore. Maybe all I'm saying is what I'm saying is completely wrong. Maybe I'm just so pissed I can't see past whatever. But it's not genuine anymore. It's not excitement anymore. Before it was like, oh my God, what he just said right now is gonna bang. That movie's gonna bang. Thunderbolts, I don't care. I haven't even seen a trailer. And you can cut a trailer so good, you can make a crap movie look good with a well-cut trailer. So all your spell casting and magic and trickery, people are getting tired of it. So much so, your own fans said bringing Robert Downey Jr. back is cool, but for Doom, nah. They're now saying it's desperate. I thought everyone's going to be like, oh, thank God he's back. At least he's playing another character. My brother doesn't even like the fact they brought him back. My brother is always a massive advocate for give someone else a shot, give someone else a chance. You know, competent actor, good story. He does not believe everything should fall on the shoulders of the actor or director per se. If you're writing a good story, everything else will take care of itself. My brother's a firm believer in that. He's always using Game of Thrones as an example. You got no-name actors to the masses. Whether you went to a theater to see this one act, whether you saw him do this thing in Dublin, whether you saw someone do this thing on Black Mirror, 2 episodes, collectively, no one knows who these guys are. You might have seen this person when you recently watched a movie that they were in 2 years ago or 5 years ago. Yeah, cool. But when I ask you who is this actor or actress, you don't know, hence no name actors and actresses. Then the show just took them from here, skyrocketed. Littlefinger, the actor who played it, so everyone played the role so well. You say Daenerys, you know who she is instantly. So he believes, give people a chance, write great stories, and everything else will take care of itself. He does not believe in star power alone. He doesn't even like that sometimes. He's like, yeah, of course, if an actor is good for the role and he's been doing it for a long time, for example, certain things like Arnold Schwarzenegger for Terminator. He's like, yeah, if it's going to work, let it keep going. If the story serves, though. If you're just having him there for sake of audience, he gets that, but it's like, well, does the story need him to be there? No, then write another story that either needs him to be there or write. Be creative. You're saying it's a time travel story. You don't need Arnold Schwarzenegger there all the time. I get it. You want it to be like an anchor so people jump on board. Is Arnold going to be in the movie? Yeah, and then I'm there. It's like someone telling me they're doing a Mission Impossible movie, and Tom Cruise isn't there. Nah, I'll wait till Blu-ray. And maybe that the money might double, but You're not waiting for your movie to hit Blu-ray before you collect on your investment. You want your money, your investment to pay off when the movie comes out. Movie weekend. You want to make your money in the movie weekend. So now they're saying Deadpool 3 is banking. I'm like, yes, it's banking. It's banking because people are going back to watch the movie for the cameos, not the story. That's cheating, not the story. I never went back to watch Infinity War twice for the fight scene between um what's his name? Doctor Strange and Thanos. I went to see the movie again for the whole story. The whole thing, the journey. The step by step, the pace. There's just the from the beginning to end. The only time they let you breathe was just a little bit. Just a little bit. They gave you a breather just a little bit, and then you just straight sailing all the way through. No breather. No breather, man. You guys are slacking. Marvel. I think I want to change the title of this live when I'm done saving it. Marvel is dead to me. It's dead. It's a shame. No excitement. Avengers 5, Avengers 6, and everything is just, it's his title. Announce the title. Announce the title. Now Captain America 4 is coming out. I'm like, Sam hasn't really taken any super serum. This is just a regular human being with a shield. Whereas Captain America, Steve Rogers, had the super soldier serum inside him. So now I'm thinking, okay, what are you going to do this time is going to be different with Sam? He's got a sidekick. No, that's gimmicky. What has changed about Sam this time? Does he still want to be Captain America? We're going to pass the mantle on to Bucky. Do we even need Sam as Captain America? Is it necessary? Do we need a new Captain America? So maybe that's what the whole movie's going to touch on, but I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not like, oh wow, it's going to kick ass, man. It's going to be a dope movie. I'm not. No, I don't care. Sister Constance said agreed with Black Panther 2. They just wanted to get it out of the way. Yeah. And they could have done a great job with Black Panther 2. Dude, we know he's passed away. Find a nice, especially, wasn't the time the multiverse thing introduced? I could have sworn they've already done the multiverse thing before Black Panther 2. And if they haven't, then cool. Then my theory or idea won't work. But if they already did the multiverse thing with Spider-Man, you're telling me you can find a new Black Panther or like the worlds collide or something, pardon me, and then a new Black Panther shows up? I think having the son come into the second movie and then grow up, yeah. But that felt like a little we don't have to work on this product for now. We just keep it on the back burner. The same way now for example, if people now come out and say, oh, there must be some low-key racism going on because Black Panther 2 sucked and they could have made that movie much better, and now they don't want to do a Blade movie that's also going to be a black character. Obviously that's a silly notion because they're doing Sam whatever his name, Falcon, as the new Captain America. But still, man, I like the one line he said. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross said to him though. He said, "You're no Steve Rogers." I was like, ooh, ooh. That's like having a relationship and you say, "Oh, you're not my ex. You're right, but you're not my ex. My ex was, he was fire. But you were no Steve Rogers." It's like, God, damn, that cut deep. That's the only part I was like, yeah, I like to see how this turns out. Then the Red Hulk introduction. So my brain, the way my brain works now is like I'm preempting the stupidity that may be in these future movies because of what they've been doing ever since Infinity War and Endgame into the Disney Plus series. The only Disney Plus series Marvel based that I enjoyed is the What If series. I'm trying to remember if I enjoyed anything else. Echo was cool because there was some spiritual elements that echoed my African culture and tradition. But outside of that, nah. Outside of that, I was like, yeah, we didn't need this show. But there's some very, very good, powerful elements, which in the future I will take time as well. Rewatch that. I don't mind rewatching that so I can do a breakdown, the similar comparison between their culture and tradition and African culture and traditions and other spiritual traditions around the world as well. There was some really powerful stuff. I was like, oh whoa. I think you guys didn't even take time to respect this because you could have I can see Echo's people's culture symbiotically working with Wakanda culture. The similarities are glaring. It's in your face. It's right there. So when a next level event world ending thing occurs, if it's a spiritual thing, the go to is Wakanda, Doctor Strange, and the people of Echo, because they got the spiritual anchoring. That's also a nice soft way of weaving in that whole spiritual element. Something you can't use a bullet or a gun to stop, or a nuclear bomb. You can nuke all you want. We're here. We're beyond your noggin. We're beyond your matter. You could have made the Eternals sweet, but even that spoiled so many things. They rushed so many things. Eternals could have been spicy, but then by bringing in the Eternals, then you got people asking questions. Okay, well, if the Eternals were in charge, why did they let Thanos do this? Why did they let that happen? Why did they let World War II happen? Why did they let Hitler get away with what he did? Why did they let slavery happen? So when you start bringing in things and you're not conscious of the questions, the possible questions people will ask. You're introducing new things and trying to then connect it to the past. Boy, you must be prepared for those questions. You are supposed to be like some beyond deity. You're not even a demigod. You're not even a god. You're beyond a demigod and a god. And you let all this nonsense on this earth happen. Nah, your story becomes weak. And then you have this stupid wishy-washy, we cannot interfere. Man has free will. Get out. Just get out. Don't write them in, because you spoiled the whole thing. Because what Thanos did was so powerful that it affected the whole cosmos, not just Earth's galaxy, but other galaxies and other planets that even Earth doesn't know exists yet. Powerful. Absolutely powerful. The weight of the cosmos is now on the shoulder of the Avengers. They now have to undo what Thanos did. Come on. Come on. Of course those two movies are going to bang. Of course. We didn't expect Thanos to get away with what he did. And Feige, this is one time Feige was on his A game. I'm letting y'all know in advance. Avengers Infinity War is much of a story of the Avengers as well as Thanos. In fact, we just call it the Thanos' movie. And when we're watching the movie, in my head, I was like, why did Feige say this is Thanos' movie when I'm seeing Thanos get his ass beat here? And his plan is getting wishy-washy. When he starts to beat Hulk, he collected 2 stones. They're like, well, he needs 6. And one of them is hidden from him. So I don't see how he's going to collect the whole 6 stones in this movie. Lo and behold, movie ends. He snaps his finger. He's out of there. I was like, God damn. This guy just pulled that. Did he just? I looked at my brother like, yo, did he just do what he just did? The villain actually won. Yes, there are a plethora of movies out there where the villains won, of course. But it's almost like the whole bomb situation thing. You're about to stop the bomb before the villain hits it off, and the hero stops the bomb at the last second. Sometimes that's a little corny. Sometimes, like, the last second you stop the bomb. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let that bomb go off, man. What does your city look like after that bomb went off? The aftermath is always a sweet thing. Sometimes there's good stories to tell in the aftermath. That's why Endgame works too. Because the movie starts, they find ways to go back in time, they find ways to find Thanos and the gauntlet. They said, there's an energy surge that occurred when he snapped the fingers, and the same energy occurred, so we know it has to be the gauntlet. No other device gives us the same energy. They go there. Thanos is like, what stones, bruh? They ain't here. He hiding, man. Look in the drawer. Look in the kitchen. Probably underneath the bed. He said, no. I'm not hiding. What am I hiding the stones? Then Gamora's like, oh, no. He don't lie. He didn't hide the stones. He don't tell lies. They're not here. He said, I use the stones to destroy the stones. As the meme goes, he said, what I've done is done. I've won. I'm inevitable. What you mean? You think I'm going to leave the stone lying around? I know how y'all work. Some of y'all from different planets are going to be like, oh, where's the stones at? So I destroy the stones with the stones. And then what? How can you fix that? How do you fix that? And there's no time machine device to rewind time to where he destroyed the stones to bring the stones back. How do you fix that? That's why those 2 last movies, Infinity War and Endgame, worked so well. How do you fix that? on the spot. You're in a different planet right now. You're like, wait, what? You use the stones to destroy? Oh my! Whilst you're panicking about what's happened to Earth, half of every life, the trees gone. Half of trees, lions, tigers, gazelles, bees, wasps, everything. Then, as the movie progresses, another character says, "Yo, what has happened on Earth is not only Earth. Other planets have gone through the same thing. So their sea life, their air life, every planet across the cosmos. We're still stuck on here saying is are we still including Pluto as a ninth planet? Oh, just 8 planets now. We're still trying to figure out is Sirius A real? Sirius B? Naturu different. We're still trying to figure out whereas this thing is so real it affected multiple planets that even I imagine the Hubble telescope don't even know exists yet, or maybe they've seen and is doing the Area 51 hide the information from the public. What Thanos did affected every planet. Come on, I ask you again, how do you fix that? That has to be soul crushing, demoralizing. Has to be. Has to be. Those are powerful stories, well told. Find whatever recipe you used to tell those powerful stories. Come back. Come back selector, DJ, rewind on that. Since then, for me, for people like me who enjoyed those movies, everything else has just been lackluster. You want so much money, you complain about Robert Downey Jr. being so expensive. Don't nobody give no one cares. The rules you have set up in Hollywood, that's y'all's business. Because these movies ain't coming out for free in the theater. If they were for free, hey, it's still not my business. You release a movie for free in the theater, nice, cool movie, dope, wow. I cried a few times. I'm outie. Peace. We good. Or Robert Downey Jr. changed the contract. He's too expensive. Or when the first Iron Man came out, they agreed to this contract, and now that he wants more money, yeah. He realized the first movie he did shaped your Marvel universe to an extent. The second one, again, when other things aren't working, people are like, man, screw all that. Can you give us a third Iron Man movie, please? So yes, you set up Hollywood in a way where some of y'all want the money, but you want to be able to, skim. Is it skims? There's a word I'm looking for. You want to be able to play the actors here and there. You get this deal, get that deal. So much so that there's so many stories going around about Terrence Howard. That's why they changed Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle did a great job. Terrence Howard did a great job in the first Iron Man movie. I don't dislike one and prefer the other. No, I like both, but I enjoyed Don Cheadle's depiction of War Machine. So whatever goes on behind closed doors, like I said, these movies ain't free. If you're complaining about the money and whatnot, hey, that's y'all's problem, son. Hollywood is your house. You built it. Me, I just walked past the building and you just said, oh, there's a new movie coming out. I'm like, word? When's it coming out? What's the trailer? Here's your money. I didn't build your house. You could argue that I built it with the money. Yeah, but the schematics, the whole template, it's not me. I'm not involved. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is too expensive. Chris Evans is too expensive. What? How much are they getting paid? People don't have any problem with rent, bills, gas, electric, cars. They can get custom cars made. They didn't have no issue with no visa, traveling nowhere. The celebrities, they're like practically Earth demigods without the superpowers and the cosmic responsibilities. So that's not my problem, man. Well, that's why they haven't brought him back since. I don't care. Is your story good? Yes, I'll watch the movie. Is it awesome? I'm buying the DVD. Keep it a 4K, Blu-ray, whatever it is. Is it whack? I'm not touching it. Bring him back? Don't care. Or they're only going to bring him back for one movie. I don't care. I just don't care. It's your world. It's your world. You made the terms. So now it looks like Robert Downey Jr. caught wind of your nonsense and said, oh, I see where y'all going with this shit. What you're trying to do is make these good movies, tell stories, bank on the money, keep the actors quiet. So much so that Robert doing his own thing behind this door, Scarlett doing her own thing behind this door. Then when you watch the videos on YouTube, you realize, oh, they started changing their contracts. What, huh? Robert, how much? He got paid how much? Oh, hell no. Let me call my agent. So now everyone's doing their own, whatever they're doing. Robert Downey Jr. doing his thing, Terrence Howard doing his thing. Then Terrence said, Robert kicked him out. Yo, even if someone says it's just human nature for greed, not my house. It's your house. You built the contracts the way they're built. If you're saying it's a collective effort thing, you respect everyone involved, your graphic designers, your costume designers, your set designers, everyone, everyone. So much so now you got Loki stories coming out and saying, "Oh, Marvel is overworking their design team." Word, and yet the stories news just in: Robert Downey Jr. is doubled his contract money whilst you're overworking your design team. Doesn't matter how good your dialogue is. Doesn't matter how much times you banged your lines off the script. If your team of graphic designers die, they catch a disease, they are too stressed, your movie ain't coming out this date you plan it to come out because you've lost team members. Now you got me talking politics like I'm supposed to. How come your money isn't solid enough where everyone can say, I love working in this industry because we get paid well? Then you got actor strike, writer strike. Y'all want money, but you complain Robert Downey Jr. is too expensive because you guys, hey yo, stop it. Trying to screw people over. You're screwing the fans, you're screwing the viewers, you're screwing everyone else, but you want to keep. That's why I keep asking these jokes, these questions. It sound like jokes sometimes. I'm like, yo, how many islands can one person buy? Like, how many islands are available on the planet where 10 rich people can buy? Are we now auctioning islands? How many yachts? How many yachts can you build? Like, when do you say stop? How many yachts can you, like, if I want a custom built yacht, I can do that right now. All the money I've got. So, but how many? Like, is there like, oh, dude, there's a yacht I went on that was so dope, but it didn't have this. Imagine if you had this and you build it. Like, when does it then? When do you be like, yeah. Ooh, that was a dope ass yacht, man. Yeah, I already put money aside for my children, grandchildren. Yeah, I'm still gonna keep acting because I just love the storytelling of acting. I love the action. I love the workouts. I love the story. I love playing the villain and the hero and the dark twisted character. How many yachts can one rich man or woman buy? How many islands can one rich man or woman buy? It's like the money just keeps piling up, but then the cost keeps increasing. Then people want to do weird things more and more. It's like it's not just the yachts or the islands, it's other things. It's like, what other things are there? These other things. I thought it was just private jet. No, there's other things. Okay, custom made cars. No, other things. I'm like, what? What are y'all into, man? There's other things, bro. What's wrong with you? You ain't paying attention. I'm like, I'm not. I don't even want to pay attention. Like, I don't even want to know what y'all are doing anymore. Cause y'all, I'm like, so is the islands, is the private jets, is the cars? Oh, like AI tech? Nah, brother, other things. I'm like, yo, just make the movies and leave me out of this. I don't care. Your empire is crumbling so bad. People are like, yeah, please bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. What? And you can't be honest. And then we will be paying money, subscription. Some of us have dual subscription with our cousins, our brothers and sisters. Hey, and then when we ask you a question, Fantastic Four is coming out. No, Feige, we're not talking about the future, we're talking about now. I used to be excited when they do the Disney Expo thing. They just have a list of movies coming out. Like, oh God, I can't wait till I see that one. When they announced Avengers Infinity War was gonna be a 2-part, I was like, oh damn. At first I was like, is it in that corny? Why don't you just do one movie and do another one? I'm like, nah, they probably, this one I had massive trust in them. I'm like, they're probably doing it for a reason. They are doing it for a reason. Let me give them some leeway. They're doing it for a reason. Infinity War landed. I'm like, God, man, I can't wait to see the second one. Nice. That's when you know you have banked. When your first movie is so sweet, just like Lord of the Rings, just like Harry Potter, like, yo, this thing is so good. I can't wait for the second one. I remember the first time I saw Lord of the Rings at the Till. We were told this is a trilogy. I think then I didn't know what the term trilogy meant. I know a movie was part 1, part 2, part 3, but I didn't know that those 3 movies are called a trilogy. And then, is that Eddie? Lieutenant Eddie was good. I didn't even see McRamble. McRamble came in. I don't want to miss out. You know what? You so having me to zoom in. Let me zoom in on the laptop so I can see your comments. I hope I haven't missed anything. I see the fire emoji. Much appreciated. Big Ramble. Sister Constance. Flamethrower. Live tonight. Oh, thank you, Constance. Number one supporter. Much appreciated. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing Sister Constance's t-shirt. Can you see it? Is it showing? Is it visual? Can you see it? This is one of Sister Constance's t-shirts. She's an artist on Instagram. Check her out. Sister Constance Prince. Constance Prince. I call her Sister Constance, but don't type in Sister Constance. You on Google, Constance Prince. She does teas as well and other miniature art and is it is it large scale art? That's the right term? Large scale art. Sister Constance, check her out on Instagram. That's a little plug here and there. I tend to wear her tees from time to time or have her artwork in the background, but I'm at my mom's place, so this is more raw, more in your face live, no gimmicks, no lighting, no setup. This is raw. I'm like coming from the soul right now, man. I'm going to do these more often as well, even when I get back to my place. I'm enjoying these. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, with the Infinity War, I was like, no, Lord of the Rings. I was late. I remember the lady told me to till. Let me do a quick flashback. The first time I saw the poster, not even the trailer. I wasn't into trailers that much then. Then I was like, I might catch one or two. I was more into action. I didn't want anything else. Action only, please. Horror maybe, but action only, please. Anything else? Thriller. What am I? It's saying Michael Jackson. What do you mean thriller? You say Michael Jackson, please. Action only, please. So then I saw a poster for Lord of the Rings, the first Lord of the Rings. It had this, the two statues on either side of this bridge or this passageway. The first thing, when you say word association, when I say Jesus, the first image that comes to mind is not of a Chinese or Japanese woman. It's of a Caucasian dude. Sometimes blue eye, blonde hair, maybe not, but it's always a Caucasian, never a brown dude. It's not a Nigerian guy or a French guy or Haitian guy. No. So when I saw the poster, the first image that came to mind, I was like, what kind of, you have to making Christian movies this day and age? Fellowship of the Ring. Church, fellowship. I was like, Fellowship of the Ring. The statues look nice. I didn't even pay enough attention to the detail in the statues. But some biblical stuff. There was no like part one. I don't remember seeing part one. Nah. I was like, okay, I guess. Going to and no, I think I saw that at, I don't know what movie I was seeing when I saw that at the Odeon Cinema. I was like, okay, I guess whatever. Bought my ticket for whatever movie. Then I saw the dates. That was coming out this year. I think it was November, December. Towards the end of the year. Okay. So strange time to put a movie out. When it's going to be Christmas, everyone's going to be at home. Theater's going to be open then. All right, cool. Fast forward. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I think maybe seen clips. I heard all the big talk about it on BBC News and whatnot. We go to the cinema, buying the ticket. Oh, by the way, it's part of a trilogy. Again, then that term wasn't a word in my vocab for my brain to know what it meant hearing it. The same way when you hear Jesus, word association, first image that comes to mind, my brain didn't know trilogy like that. Doesn't mean I didn't know a movie had part 1, 2, 3. But saying when those 3 movies are complete, it's called a trilogy. Because the storyline passes through all 3 of them. I think that's what a trilogy stands for. Or is it just a trilogy of movies? Which you correct me in the comments. I didn't have that information in my head. She said the movie would cut up abruptly at the end. I heard that, but it was like she said it and it went. Meow. I was like, abruptly at the end. Okay, cool. What does that mean? Cut up. We just cut up. Okay, but all movies end. You mean she goes? No, it won't. It will end, but it won't. It's not finished. So I'm like, okay, we should just wait like 30 minutes in the cinema. So they'll like the movie was so long, they had to stop it and reload the second reel to do the second. I was a little confused. Like, what you mean? She goes, no, it ends, but it's going to come out next year. Oh, so it's like one long movie, but they cut it. She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. I was like, but I don't know if I want to sit down. I might as well just wait till it comes out, till the whole 3 comes out and I watch the whole 3 as one thing. I was like, okay, so how long is the movie? She said 3 hours or almost 3 hours. I was like, yeah. So in total, it's like 9 hours. I said, what kind of movie is this? I said, oh, hell no. And this is the movie I was thinking was The Fellowship of, because I'd already seen trailers, not trailers, seen the posters and whatnot. Getting up posters, seen the clips. So I said, you know what? Scratch that. Going to the cinema, we sit down. I'm like, God damn, this shit is good. This shit is good. What is it? Hey, yo, these little hobbit things. Oh, Legolas with a bow and arrow. And then the dwarf, I can't remember the dwarf's name. And then in Gandalf, I'm like, oh, this is the magic stuff I want. This got an old wizard still pulling strings, and he's still doing his thing. He got a sword too. Oh hell no! And the Balrog, I'm like, oh my god. You got the Strider. You got I can't remember the Horn of Gondor. Oh, one doesn't simply walk into Mount Mordor. Oh, where the meme comes from. Hey yo. Oh, one of the best times in my movie going life. One of the best times in my movie going life. What? And when it cut, people like me who didn't really save the message the lady told us at the kiosk at the till were like, what? Who cut out the lights? What kind of? Hey, load the second one. They said, no, it's next year. I said, I don't think I like this kind of movies. Gimli, Lieutenant Eddie, thank you, Gimli, and then the banter between Gimli and I'm blanking. What's his name again? Legolas. Then how many did you kill? 20. Oh, I killed 30. Oh my god damn. This is why when I say we need to have a collective list of movies, we can all say these are good movies. I always reference Lord of the Rings. What did you feel like when you went to watch these movies? You have them on Blu-ray. Are you skipping forward? Let's say you're watching them again for the first time. You're in the cinema. Are there scenes you want to skip forward? For me, the first Fellowship, all three of them, I didn't skip. My phone is on airplane mode. Who are you calling when I'm watching Lord of the Rings? Your father and your mother. Are you mad? Yo, full attention. I want full focus. I think I saw that with my friends, and this time my brother and I we're into movies, but not so much so we will go together to see movies all the time. I don't know if I told him about Lord of the Rings, but when I came back, I was raving and ranting. Yo, you need to go see this shit. Like, I was like, I'll go with you again, just so I can get to watch it again, but just so you see it for the first time. I'll be watching a movie like this and watching his face. It was, yo, till this day, he and I agree, Lord of the Rings that's cosmic packaging right there. You don't mess with them, boy. It inspired him in such a way that he's like, this is how you want to tell stories, that you make people feel your character's journey. What? Reluctant journey. Not someone saying, I'll be the bearer of the ring. I want to. It's in my nature. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. I want to do this. I can do this. I'm a great guy. I don't know about this ring thing, man. Mount where? Doom who? With them orcs? I don't know, bro. I don't know, but the ring be talking to me. So maybe I should, you know what? Y'all are arguing. Y'all can handle this. You got this pointy-eared dudes. You look like y'all look like you're skilled to handle business, man. You got this dwarf-looking dude, what's his name, Gimli? You got wizards here. You got elves, and you got the kings as a fallen king. You know, what you mean, man? Let's go back to the shy. Give this ring to these motherfuckers. What? Mount where? Oh, y'all are crazy. Y'all done lost your mind. Look how small we is compared to y'all. Y'all are 6 foot giant, 6'4". Y'all are taller than us. You want us to go where? Oh, you done lost it. Yo, Gandalf, come take this ring. What you mean I can't give it to you? It's a test? One of you motherfuckers gonna take this shit. We go, yo, boys, we out of here. Y'all talking too much shit. Look how big y'all is. Y'all so skilled. You've been to battles. You got scars. Y'all ain't even died. None of you mothers has died. That's how good you guys are. You want us to put where ring? Hell no. Then he said, I'll do it. I'll take the ring to Mount Mordor. And you saw Gandalf's face. Said, God, man, I ain't want this shit. I mean, it's inevitable. I don't see in the future, but damn, it still hit him. He knew, but it still hit him. He didn't know everything, but he knew. He said, man, you done touched it too many times. So much so Gandalf was like, come here. He took the ring. He said, hold on, read that inscription for me. Right? Read it real quick. What it say? Ain't no one on it? Oh, that's cool. It's all right, cool. Thank God. Hold on, Gandalf. What you said, boy? Hold on for what? There's some writing on it. It's in red. It's red writing on it. Gandalf was like, this mother. What you mean, writing? Read the writing, boy. It's a strange writing, Gandalf. It's in Elvish, Gandalf. It's not in. I've not seen this. It's a strange. Hey, I can hear voices, Gandalf. Aye, man, you can't mess with them boys. That movie was fire. can't mess. Yeah, that's when you're looking forward to seeing the second and the third one. So when Marvel said they dropped Infinity War, I said, hey, Jedi. Thanos said, boy, I told you I was going to snap my fingers. You think it's jokes? Or you think I'm playing? You see what I did to Xandar? Oh, y'all think it's... Y'all saw what I did to Hulk, man. Come stop it. I didn't even use no glove. I beat that homeboy hand to hand. I ain't use no juice, nothing. I whooped his ass. You think I came here to joke? You think it's jokes? You thought I came here to rent a house or buy a house? Oh, hell no. We outie. Peace. Mwah. Mm-hmm. 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 It don't even matter where Thanos was at. That's the thing. It doesn't matter where Thanos was at. As long as he collected those stones, he said, if he did it on Xandar, if he collected the last stone on Xandar, he'd have done the same thing. So it's not like it was a personal vendetta towards Earth. Like, oh, you Earthlings, you mother. I can't wait till I slap my fingers on Earth. And now I got the stones. I could do it at home, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, but I'm going straight to Earth just to piss off these little man. Nah, he happened to collect that final stone on Earth. Oh, yeah, I'm here now, man. There's no point going back all the way to my planet just to snap my fingers. I'm good. Even when he collected, it's like, oh, wow. Look at them gems, man. Look at that. Y'all looking at this? Then Thor was like, what? Bessie in his chest. He said, God. I said, boy, you got me good, bro. You should go for the head, man. And Thor said, you said what, bro? I said, man, 1 second, shit. That mess your throat up, don't it? You should have gone for the head, man. He said, say what again? You should have gone for the head. He said, deuces, baby. Teleporter left that axe on the floor. Ooh. Come out with this stupid movie talking about the cameos were good. Dumbass movie, man. Dumbass movie. You can't compare this. I'm not saying every Deadpool movie that comes out should be compared to Infinity War and Endgame. No, but it should be a level of storytelling where you're like at the edge of your seat to an extent. Oh, Deadpool's a funny character. I guess Cancer's a funny story in the first movie. Deadpool's supposed to be a, don't take it so serious thing. Well, an older guy who had his family get killed by a mutant traveling back in time to kill a boy is a serious story. Yeah, maybe you guys have that every day. Your uncle got cancer and he's just trying to, he's in the laboratory, people just jabbing needles and trying to unlock his superpower. And then someone tells you, oh, your cousin apparently dreamt that he killed a lot of people in the future and you're okay with that. And someone travels from in time, comes in front of you, wants to kill your cousin because in the future your cousin becomes a murderer and you're okay with it. Those aren't gimmicky funny. Those sound serious. Those sound like serious stories to me. So the third one is nowhere close to the first and second movie in terms of storytelling. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. I'm sorry. Yet Lord of the Rings can have such a great story and have humor, have compassion, have mystery. That movie cut off so well. I was like, God, I can't wait to see the second one. That even inspired me to say, this is how movies should be. Sometimes, not all movies, but this is it. This is the new wave of good storytelling. Harry Potter followed suit. Every year was the next movie. Even that one, Harry Potter, the first two, I was like, it's all right. It's magic. Where's the old guys at? Where's the old ladies at? Where's the Havana Cadabra? It's little boys and girls. I ain't got time for these little kids. Then when they got older, I was like, oh, now you got my attention. The Goblet of Fire. Harry Potter. And then they kept on showing Voldemort, the back of the head thing. I'm like, this guy just sound like a weak-ass villain. Always threatening people, oh, I shall return, Harry Potter. Shut up. He didn't come and do nothing. Shut up, Voldemort. You talk too much. Then when he showed up, I was like, oh, snap. I was like, yo, let me go back and watch the first one again. That's when you can do that in your in-world storytelling, that people who didn't really take your other movies seriously can go back so they can catch up to now. You've won. You have won. Again, I'm not comparing Deadpool 3 or all Deadpool movies to Harry Potter, but I'm saying storytelling is so important. World building is so important. Take your things seriously enough. Nobody's saying don't make the guy do the photo break, don't make him do jokes, but take it seriously enough so we are on the ride with you. Don't pull us in and then chuck us away. Don't give us a really strong, powerful scene and then be like, whatever. No. Hold us tight. Let us be like, let me take a chill pill. Like, no, we're here, bro. I want you to feel it. Then we start crying and shit. Come on, man. Watch a movie about little hobbit dwarf, little people go from and then you introduce Gollum. Oh, I started feeling sorry for every character, even Gollum. Even Gollum, so much so I was like, man, whoever made this ring is a douchebag. You are mean. You got this ring messing people all over the place. What a mean, wicked person. Beautiful story. You're looking for someone to just slap in the face. Like, who the hell made this goddamn ring, man? Everyone got affected by this one ring. Even Frodo was like, no, no, my precious. Even Frodo started sounding like Gollum, like, yo, you better get this ring up this dude and throw it in the fire real quick. He's about to turn your boy. Tense movie. Tense. Third movie came. They tried to get Strider on his A game, like, yo, get back to your lineage, man. He said, we ain't got an army to defeat this guys. Mount Doom was like, yo, y'all are finished. You versus me? Don't make me laugh. You're done. He had to go and find dead souls to help your boy out. Please. Not paying attention to powerful storytelling. It's a Marvel universe, not so serious, I guess. Someone who lost his hands and went through you showed someone crawling, practically, he would call that crawling. He came from his high-ranking, rich world, great surgery world. He was getting good money. Now he's lost his hand. He's desperate. He will learn to do anything. Enters Carmitage. They teach him about magic and whatnot. That's a compelling story. If you're saying don't take the Marvel universe so serious, that's a compelling story. You got Iron Man. People got got hold of his technology, his weapons. They're killing people with his power, his tools, and whatnot. You know what? I'm done with this stuff, man. I'm going to change my whole ethos. And then people who work with him, well, now because you got saved from the cave, you found Jesus, you found God. Shut up. Just keep making these weapons so people can get paid. People were paying their rent and their bills with his job. And they had skilled people who came to work for Tony because of what Tony created. I love meat. You've enrolled me for meat. I'm here for meat. Now you're saying you're going vegan. What? Shut up. So the people who kidnapped you don't like you, but they did it under orders. Plus, they're just here to do their thing. Whereas people who love you, who came to work for you because of who you are, your tech, your innovation, the way your character is, they're here for you. I'm not going to be doing weapons anymore. You have enemies, more enemies here than you did in the cave. Beautiful storytelling. Beautiful. What does that look like to every regular person? Why did you lose your job? Well, Tony Stark just, changed his mind. He's not doing weapons anymore. Although they can change themselves. You're not just going to blame Tony all the way and only Tony. You can change your ethos if you want to as well. If your manager or your owner of the whole company can change his ethos, you can flex too. You can learn from that. But it's natural. It's normal. I was getting some good money. It's one of the best places to work in the world. One of the best places. Dental was good. Medical was good. The food was good. All of a sudden, Tony Stark just said he's not going to do this anymore. You have more enemies in your land, on your soil, than the people who kidnapped you. Then he made his own Iron Man suit because he realized, oh, I can even go to the government because they probably in on it as well. Took powers into your own hands. You cleaned up your own mess and said you will not let anyone play you like that anymore. You went all the way from that and then here. What do you like about Deadpool 3? The cameos were good. What's wrong with you people, man? You've let your standards go. You've let your standards drop. Critique things. Break it down. Critique movies, man. Anyway, I think I'm done. I've been ranting for long enough. Or have I? Do I have more left in me? Do I have more fire left in me? I've missed some comments again. Constant Springs, hi Eddie. Hope you're doing well. Eddie says the ending was cool because everyone all up in one movie theater to hide from final. Is that a twist? What are you guys talking about? I'm confused. I can't even go back and check the previous comments. That's weird. Normally I can zoom back up or scroll back up. Whoops. Is that a bug? Okay, I can do it now. I thought there was a bug for a second. It literally wouldn't let me scroll. If you got my email, Marvel or Disney saying we need a Nick Fury, what would you say? What? Marvel didn't say we need a new Nick Fury. What would you say? Would you take an offer? I'm confused. Me playing Nick Fury or in general a Nick somebody asked me to play Nick Fury. That'd be a that'd be a massive honor. I probably cry to Feige though, say you don't put me in those stupid stories, Nick Fury. You need to pay me my dues. Nick Fury ain't no you gimmicked him. You made him prime. Made him prime when you started when you got him in the Captain Marvel story with the three Marvelettes or whatever it is. You gimmicked him. You made him real stupid. Even before that, when you put him in Scrolls. Oh my god, the Scroll season, the Scroll storyline. They spoiled Nick Fury. Insulted his legacy completely. So if you're saying they're looking for Nick Fury in general, yeah, I guess now they could give the storyline to a non-African actor or non-African American actor, a non-brown actor. They could give it to a Caucasian actor because in the comics he's been both. So yeah, or has he always been a Caucasian character and then Marvel decided to change him to an African actor or an African American actor in the movie? I can't tell. I can't remember. But I don't know what they want to do. You need someone. New Nick Fury can't be gimmick. Straightforward, part of the Avengers, no under the carpet nonsense. I say A and then behind closers I'm doing F. No, you got to be on. You have to be on point. You can't create new drama, especially if you're saying someone else is joining the ranks the uh from the government or whatever, or Nick Fury himself is selecting a new character to take over his role and then dubs him the new Nick Fury. You could do that. I think that will fly nicely. I'm not against a new Nick Fury as long as it services the story well. I'm screen recording BRB. Constance, screen recording are you? That juicy it is, I see. Oh, I missed some comments from Merc Ramble and Lieutenant Eddie. I do apologize. When I'm in my rant phase, I tend to miss these comments. So let me go up real quick. Asante Sana for the plug. No problem. Much appreciated. For sure, for sure, for sure. Always. It's standard, Sister Constance. To give you a shout out on my channel is always a standard. It's a natural thing for me. I got the Gimli Dwarf thing. Okay, I think I'm all caught up with the comments. I was talking about the new Twisted movie. Saw it last weekend. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's what you gave a 6 out of 10. Oh, cool. 6 out of 10 is good. Nice. A 6 out of 10 is good. Oh, I'd like to see that now you said that. Okay, good. I think I should have seen that first before I saw Deadpool. Then I'd have come off a nice. I mean, I don't mind or you know what? I think it's good the way I saw it. Don't like Deadpool, so then I can go into a nice high with Twister. Because a lot of people have been talking really good about Twister. Because I was like, well, how won't that work? Unless Geostorm was good. I didn't finish it, but it started off good. So I think a 6 out of 10 is a good thing. How do you feel Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man changed? I don't know what that heel thing means, HEEL. I've heard it, but I don't really know what it means. But again, I love the actor. And I love what he did for Iron Man. I said earlier on during the live, even though it's a long ass live, so the exact time I said it. My two favorite characters in the MCU are Iron Man and Doctor Strange. Two favorite. I love Thor and yada yada, yada, but my two favorite because they hold so much weight. The way both their stories transpire, I connected with both of them. I saw myself in both their stories. I was like, if I was in either of their shoes, yeah. When you can get your audience to feel the plight of your characters on screen beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Especially when they brought Doctor Strange and Iron Man together in Infinity War on planet Titan. Even before that, even before that, but just the fact that they were both there, and then when um Doctor Strange used the Eye of Agamotto to travel in time to see how they defeat Thanos, he didn't have to do that. No one told him to do that, but he had no choice but to do that. It takes you have to be in a level of thinking to do that because you're not on Earth anymore. And you could have thought maybe Iron Man could have thought to himself, well, when he lands as Thanos, before he starts to talk, just shoot him with my arc reactor beam in his head, done, or shoot him through the chest, done. But you don't know how powerful he is. Well, you have an idea because he beat Hulk, so much so that Banner couldn't transform back into the Hulk. So now you're like, okay, if he can do that to the Hulk, he will mess our bones up. We're not even strong like the Hulk, let alone strong like Captain America. We're two regular human beings. I have a super suit, nanotech suit, and you have your Eye of Agamotto stone thing. And not only that, the advancement of tech that Tony went through, he knew within himself that his nano suit would take him into space. That's how confident he was with his suit. It's nano, but this thing will allow me to go into space and breathe. They're lucky Titan was a breathable planet. Because if that planet wasn't breathable for any humanoid or human slice, not humanoid, because I know Star Lord is half human, half celestial, or half whatever it's called. If that planet was not breathable for Tony and Doctor Strange, game over. Massive gamble, by the way, especially when they're on the spaceship, when they're taking out Ebony Maw. Pardon me. Especially when they're on the spaceship and took out Ebony Maw. I remember one of them was like, "Can you turn this thing back?" Yeah, that was strange. And that's when Tony was like, "I'm thinking." Thinking was, "What do you mean thinking?" He said, "Can you?" And let's not forget, they didn't leave Earth and just fly away. They jumped. They did a space jump thing. So to say take this thing back, you'd have to learn how the spaceship works, and then use the jump drive to jump you back to Earth's galactic quadrant, and then find the planet Earth. So it every step of the way was like we're in new grounds now. This is new territory, boy. Follow through, because this ship is already set to land on Titan. So it's like whatever we do next has to follow through. We'd have to learn how to not only navigate the ship, which he and Spider-Man did, but learn how to the controls and the space jumps. Do we even know this thing just jumped? No wonder Stranger's like, "Oh, can you turn this thing around?" Because we, the viewers, saw the ship did a jump thing. It didn't just fly and fly fast. It warped from this space quadrant to where Titan space quadrant was. So that means, like, let's say it warped to a different galaxy. So your boy was just tied up. It's like, can you turn this thing around? Turn around what? We're not even in Earth galaxy anymore. So it makes sense. We got to follow through and say, yo, this thing is already predestinated to land in Titan. We got to see what's going to happen. So it's such a. So yeah, I mean, Team Dog. I don't know. I'm not against Robert coming back and playing a different character. I think he can play. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with him playing Doom. It's how well you write the story. The actor is important, yes, but how compelling is the story? What if we love him as well as we did when we loved him as Iron Man? What if we fall in love with him as Doom? Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. has to bring a flair to the character. Yes, has to bring some kind of spice to the character. But what if we end up falling in love with him as well? What does that look like? Let me ask you that then. Because for me, I love Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. So if they were going to do another Iron Man, I was already down for Tom Cruise playing a different variant of Iron Man. I was. And this is why powerful casting is so good. So much so that not because an actor's played a character for so long, but the casting is so good, you struggle to see other characters play this particular role, or other actors play this character's role. So Doom, I don't know what variant of Doom they're going to be talking about. I don't know if it's one that's fully scarred where he needs the mask, or the mask is just for show, or the mask is just part of his costume in case he gets shot in the face. You know, it's a practical mask, not just because, oh, the comic character wears it, so therefore I'm wearing it. I don't know. We don't know what they're going to be doing with this character, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I feel it's a desperate move by Marvel, yes. By Disney, yes. Desperate move because the Kang thing didn't work out. The TVA thing is stupid. Introducing Kang into the TVA was very, very, very stupid. Again, I bring back Infinity War and Thanos. Thanos wasn't just introduced in Infinity War, he was sprinkled all over the MCU bit by bit. We got more face time or more screen time with him when they showed us Ronan or whatever his name is in Guardians of the Galaxy. So we got to see that this guy is serious. Then we know he has two daughters called Gamora and the other one. So Thanos was sprinkled. Then at one point there was one scene where the movie ended. We got so used to the two end credit scene. It's a ritual, it's a pattern, and you kept it going. You had to maintain. You can't do one movie, one end credit scene, another movie, two end credit scenes, another movie, three end credit scenes, and then another movie, no end credit scenes. No. You started something, stick with it. You created something new, stick with it. Be the company that always ended up doing end credit scenes, one mid, one end credit scene. So much so that other studios started copying them. So it depends on your story. I don't care who comes back to play what. They brought Vision back in another way. No one complained about that. It was like, oh yeah, Vision is back, but it's white Vision. It's not the same Vision. He's back. Why didn't people complain about that? So very soon, for all you care, they're gonna bring back Chris Evans. Then doing that is gonna get some people excited. Desperate, yes, but it's gonna get the OG people who are like, yeah, you're slacking, man. We're good. When the new Star Wars is announced, when the one with I can't remember what's the name. When Rey was announced, the first one, everyone was like, sounds cool, but are the OGs coming back? Han Solo, Luke, Princess Leia. If those three are coming back, we're on board. If not, we're good. We don't need to be here. We don't even. You can release it, but we won't watch it. You need the OG fans. That's your it's your foundation. That's what everything's going to stand upon. If your OG fans aren't digging your new stories, then you're in trouble. Oh, heal means character change. Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, I don't think the character being changed. Nah, because the legacy remains the same. They could even say all that is undone, but just because it's undone in terms of story doesn't mean I forget it. The feeling I had, or the feeling I have, the emotions I went through doesn't get undone. It's not like it's going to be like some Mandela effect where when the new movies come out, all of us get our brains wiped and we forget what Robert Downey Jr. did before as Iron Man. No, it always stays in my head and my heart. And if I don't like what they're doing with Doctor Doom, I can always go back to my original first Iron Man movie all the way to Infinity War Endgame and enjoy those. It doesn't erase those. It might spoil it and sour it, yes, but it wouldn't erase the legacy, the feeling, the experience. No way. I think if we allow it to do that, then that's going to be on some of us. The same way the TVA, I think, was rushed. The same way Kang was rushed. Kang wasn't sprinkled in the galaxy in the different stories to come. A whole Kang who said he's killed multiple Avengers, couldn't kill a whole Ant-Man, and couldn't stop ants. I'm sorry, couldn't stop civilized, advanced ants. The whole Kang. You made him sound like he was so powerful. And not only that, his power wasn't even predicated on his beingness. It was based on his technology. That's not power. If I remove your technology, are you still capable of dealing some good damage? So you're not powerful. You're as good as your tech. You could argue the same thing with Iron Man. Yeah, but Iron Man doesn't boast that he's powerful. He's got his squad. He's very smart. He will think his way out of a problem real quick. He will think his way out of a problem real quick. So, new Nick Fury, I'm cool with as long as you don't spoil it. It's the story. And I've beat the nail on the head over and over again. It all revolves around the story. If the story does not service the character, it doesn't matter what actor you bring back, new contract, a heel, these change, they're rewriting or erasing. It doesn't matter. If the story is not powerful enough, people will just you will lose people a lot. People just be like, yeah, it's cash grab. And again, you can have cash grab if you want because that's your job, right? It's a business. You're here to make money, but you can't just make money consistently by telling stupid stories. Eventually, eventually, that large amount of people you have who are hopeful, who'll be like, okay, maybe after the 15th movie, they'll step it up. There's some people who are that hopeful. They wait till your 20 movies of stupidity. Maybe you plan to make 19 movies and you just push it to be like, yeah, let me do a 20th movie of stupidity. And at the 20th, they're like, yeah, I give up. But you've already made your money off them. Whereas there's another group of people where after 2 movies, and they're also with the third one, they don't have any hope. Those guys will pull out their money real quick. Anything Marvel, no. Disney Plus, cancel subscription. How many times have people canceled Netflix and only signed on again because a new show is coming out? When it's done, cancel again. And that's a worry for them. You don't want to lose your subscription. No, do you want to lose your loyalty? Your hot toys, your Marvel gloves and whatnot, they'll sell. You don't even do cartoons to fill in the gaps. Now you've got the What If series. That's the only one you have that can fill in the gaps or tell new stories. That some of us are probably like, oh, those are good stories told in the cartoon. I wonder if they'll carry over into the live action. Hence me earlier when I mentioned about the little shorts for Love, Death and Robots on Netflix. Those are little shorts but powerful. I'm still saying it again. Anyone who hasn't seen Love, Death and Robots, go and check out the crab story in Love, Death and Robots. Powerful, 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 powerful story. Beautiful story, man. Absolutely beautiful story. And it's a short. It's not a 2 hour movie or a 3 hour movie or a 4 hour movie or a trilogy. 15 to 20 minutes short story. Just started at this point. You don't know what happened here or there or up there. Or this is where the story started and you're hooked already. So if Love, Death, and Robots can pull that off, there's another one where these guys go into a nebula or whatever quadrant in space where they get trapped into a spider's web, and this creature hijacks their body, and because they're slowly dying, it's giving them a vision of what it's like making their wildest dreams come true. It asks you a big question. Would you, knowing where you were, would you fight to escape or fight to try and escape, or would you willfully just stay there and die, but at least dying having a good dream? Meaning if you wanted to be a king with 10 wives and 5,000 empires, you get that dream. You're in a dream where you wanted to be the hero who saves the world and saves the girl and gets the girl. You get that dream. You be dying smiling. You just smile on your face, even though this thing is slowly devouring you. But you're getting a happy ending. It's a win-win. This thing gets to eat whilst you get a happy ending. That is another dark story in the Love, Death, and Robots series. Dark. There's another one too where this underwater story. I can't remember the full aspect, but yeah, check out the crab story, Love, Death, and Robots, and then I can't remember the other one's called. Yeah, I can't remember the second one. That one was because the people who were caught in the web of this creature kept on waking up, and it's like they were breaking out of the trance. It's like when creatures poison their meal, to make the meat more soft so it's easy to chew on, or paralyzes their prey so they can't do nothing, or they just it's like whilst I'm eating you, I'm also giving you a good vision. It's like a Matrix thing. I'm killing you, but you're having a great experience in your mind space. Beautiful, man. So when a company like that or companies like that can pull off great mini shorts in Love, Death and Robots series, there's no more excuses for Marvel. There's no more, it's hard to tell stories. You need to know what you're doing from now on. Again, Marvel is dead to me, man. I think I'll end it there. Marvel is dead to me, and I don't care about this Deadpool 3. Don't care about I got the Harkness. Like I said, I will watch that show for review purposes. I don't care about Captain America 4. I don't care about Thunderbolts. Maybe the trailer. I mean, when trailers come out, I'll react to the trailer. When a Thunderbolts trailer comes out, I'll do a trailer reaction. But after this Deadpool movie, I've learned my lesson. Finally, I do not trust Marvel anymore. Nor do I care for Marvel and Disney Plus. I've learned. I've learned. The only things I will look forward to will be the What If series because, you know, 8 to 10 episodes. There's bound to be at least 4 good episodes. I can be like, yeah, I can do a good reaction to these 4 episodes. Talk about them, pros and cons, what I like, what I disliked, and take it from there. But to say I'm so excited for this project and that project, Doomsday, I mean, the concept, yes, but my excitement, no. Even Fantastic Four. I saw some clips, the leaked footage. And when that trailer is out, I'll also do a trailer reaction for Fantastic Four. But to say I'm looking forward to it, no. No. When they said they casted Antonio Banderas, is it Antonio Banderas? Yeah. For Galactus, I was like, I love the actor, but Antonio Banderas doesn't scream cosmic villain or a devourer of planets villain. So that means you're trying to give him a softer side. And I don't know how you plan on pulling it off. Or you want us to have some emotional connection to Galactus. Cool. But you got this. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't be my first choice. Antonio Banderas for Galactus would not have been my first choice. Nor would Pedro Pascal have been my first choice for Reed Richards. But again, you could argue that a lot of people, weren't necessarily excited for Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man as their first choice. But look what happened. Look what he pulled off. That's why I'm like with the Doom thing. After what he pulled off with Iron Man, I don't see how he can't do the same for Doom or something similar or better. He's been away from the character Iron Man for so long. He could bring some things that he was probably prohibited from doing with Iron Man, or because Iron Man was such a particular character, Feige would have been like, okay, let's keep it like this and give him this kind of spice. But now you're playing Doom, who's supposed to be a villain, I assume. We don't know if he's scarred face Doom again or hubris Doom or a version of Iron Man gone rogue becoming Doom. We don't know. But there's certain things he probably wanted to do with Tony Stark, and they were like, nah, we need to keep it a particular way. Now they'd be like, yo, since you're playing the villain, go all out. You know? So yeah, they could do it like that. He could probably be bringing a new energy. So I'm good either way. Just give us a good story. Otherwise, nah. But again, like I said, there's no excitement. And when it comes out, to the trailer, we'll see what's popping. It might be up my alley, might not be up my alley. This is a time where you're hoping for a new Lord of the Rings movie or a new Harry Potter movie. You're like, yeah, the market is getting sour. At least Lieutenant Eddie in the comments said the Twisted movie 6 out of 10. So I'll check that out. Check that one out. I was just checking out the prequel for A Quiet Place. I'm gonna do a review for that by the weekend. It's all right. I don't really like the aliens. The first one was cool, but when the second one came out, I was like, hold on a second. You guys are trying to milk this thing? No, the aliens don't make sense. It's just too much. It's irritating. They feel like bullies to me. Space bullies. I also want to do a monster live soon. Like, like a discussion of ranking sci-fi monsters. Predator, Xenomorph, the aliens in Quiet Place, the aliens in Tomorrow War. There's a fifth one somewhere I've forgotten. The aliens in Live Die Repeat. So I don't know if you guys want to check out those 2 movies actually. So let me make sure I remember it again. The Predator alien, the Xenomorphs, aliens in Live Die Repeat, aliens in the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt, and then aliens in The Quiet Place. I think there's a 6th, but when I compile the list properly and officially, then I'll do the live, and then I just want to have a conversation back and forth with you guys. Which one would you like? Which, if you were stuck, there's a wormhole. It's opened up randomly, and you get thrown in whatever. Which realm or which alien or monster reality do you feel you can survive compared to the other one? Like, can you survive a xenomorph world? And not like they're in the egg stage. No, they're ready. They're fully formed. They're not in the chest cavity, whatever. They're fully formed and ready to go. Yes, it's worth a watch. Oh, nice one, Lieutenant Eddie. Thank you very much. I'm definitely going to check that one out. I was thinking about it. But I was like, another environmental whatever movie. The last one I think I saw, yeah, it was Geostorm. Before Geostorm was 2012. That was good. That was it was nice little fun, exciting. That was good. And the other one, Day After Tomorrow, I think that was also, yeah, that one freaked me up, and that one made me feel like this could happen tomorrow, kind of thing. That was very good. But Geostorm just felt too much. Geostorm was like too much manipulation, and it's like all the possibilities happening in one day. I was like, you took me out of the movie. I didn't even finish it. I haven't even finished Geostorm, but I'll rewatch that again. But I'll check out Twister first. Hopefully, I'll like that one more than Deadpool. Then I can at least do a movie review for that one too. Got me wasting time and money watching this nonsense. Okay, what a shame. Ooh, great point, Lieutenant Eddie to the rescue. I don't know if I want to add Cloverfield, because Cloverfield was a giant one. If you're talking about the little things that fell off the big one, I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump. Um, Sequels in the Cloverfield world. If we're doing Cloverfield, I'm gonna have to go with the first introduction of the monster. Yeah, same thing with Predator. I don't want to go all the way to the prequel and say, oh, that Predator that came. No, I'm talking about, not even a one on one. Maybe I'll do two phases of the questions. You're thrown into the world of these creatures. Which one would you rather? Which one do you feel you can survive the most? And then the second phase of the question would be, you're in the movie, and I would rather do Alien 2, not Alien 1. Yeah, Alien 2. Which movie do you feel? I was going to include the zombies as well. I was like, do I just do aliens or alien creatures and monsters? And when I say zombies, I was going to include World War Z zombies. Yeah, I was going to include them too. But like I said, when I sit down and fully compile the list, it might end up being 6 or 7, because those movies gave me thrills. Because I was like, yo, some of them, like Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt was a good concept, poor delivery, because those creatures were serious. They were very, very serious. That's why I'm not too much of a fan of A Quiet Place, because it's like they're overpowered. And I don't mind that per se when you give the characters of the movie or soldiers or intelligent people of the movie enough time to say, oh, we found different ways that we think can destroy them or weaken them, you know? So that's what I was like, okay, you can't have 3 Quiet Place movies. That means you're banking off the whole first movie and the fear and quietness of the theater, and then jump scares here and there. But in reality, your monsters are just bullies. They're not hungry. They just don't like noise. That's why I asked a while back, when each monster itself is walking on the floor or jumping around and making noise itself, do the other aliens not hear that noise? Like, how come they're not lunging at each other? It's such a weird thing that if you don't like noise, you just attack anything that makes noise. If it's a generator, or if it's a bird or a helicopter, anything, any noise, you just go after. You walking on the floor and your other alien buddy walks on the floor. How come you don't lunge at each other? You're trying to tell me that the whole anatomy is so unique that they know it's their kind walking, or they can hear their kind walking. But come on, it's too much. It's too much. So what I'm hoping is that this new prequel Quiet Place movie does is give us an explanation of how the anatomy works. The first one was cool because we got to know how to kill it, and it's a very proficient or efficient being. You can't shoot it because of the scales of the body. But okay, then where does the challenge lie? Because now this thing is almost damn near, unkillable. It's immortal. And then I've heard talks that their planet exploded. Either it was attacked or natural, whatever. And then how long were they in space? Because their planet wasn't close to ours. Then they got thrown and then landed. How do they eat? Why is it that human beings are on their menu of foods to eat? You're not of this planet, and I don't assume they're of our solar system. So why is it you're here and you're like, oh, I can just destroy anything and eat? Why is human beings or human food or anything of Earth, fruits, apple, pineapples, dogs, cats, lions? Why? Why is your digestive system built for our planet? There's certain things human beings can eat. There's certain things human beings can eat, yet you're an alien. And again, you have people say it's just a movie, don't think too much. Well, that's why some of you are easily pleased. I'm not easily pleased, man. I like very intelligent movies. Yeah, sometimes I can go and watch a quote unquote dumb movie, but I like your thing to make sense. I like your thing to make sense. As much as you can, if you had an alien xenomorph invasion, there was a queen and some eggs were dropped on the planet. Once you figure out the cycle of how the xenomorphs come out to play, it's a quick win war. Of course, you have a ship fly above wherever the location is, drop a nuke, and done. You know, how many people are going to die compared to saving the whole planet? Easy. But you can't get overrun by xenomorphs if you don't take. You probably could, maybe a small quadrant, but there'll be other people like myself thinking, if we don't sit down and figure out how these guys came to be, we're gonna get overrun. Grab one dead body, split open the anatomy, find out their weaknesses. How do they reproduce? Did they come out the spaceships looking big like that? Oh no, there's some eggs. There's some eggs. Then you probably have camera footage from the spaceship. You realize this thing wrapped around the face. Then you're like, okay, it was in the face. It woke up. The thing died. There's no life inside it. And then 5 minutes after or an hour after, this thing came out of the chest. Two and two together, that means this thing is a carrier. There's something inside this thing that when it latches onto your face, it poops the thing into your mouth. So there's ways to explain how the xenomorph is doing what it's doing, and there's ways to take it down quick. It won't overrun you forever. It might overrun a city. I don't know about a state, but definitely overrun a city. But after a while, like, oh, just have, F-1 fighter jets, just lace them with grenades and bombs and whatever, and then find the queen and destroy the girl because she's the one who's giving birth to the eggs. So you cut that line short real quick. Whereas with Tomorrow War, we don't know where they came from. Well, we do per se, but those guys don't have a birthing phase. Egg sac, and if you don't have anyone opening their face into the egg sac, do they jump out at, well, with the new Alien Romulus trailer, we are seeing that they're lunging out from their trays and whatnot. So, and they're not in the egg. So I like what Alien Romulus is doing. That's the only move I'm even looking forward to this year now, outside of Deadpool. Those were the two. I was like, Deadpool 3 and Romulus. But now Deadpool 3 just disappointed me. I'm like, fingers crossed for Romulus, man. Fingers crossed for Romulus. Because it's a small team of people going into that spaceship. They're teenagers. They sound like children to me. So now competency, dialogue, trusting each other, There's another movie with Ryan Reynolds. I can't remember the name. Should I Google it real quick? Let me see if I can Google it real quick. It was this alien thing that looked like Venom. Right? That they encountered as they were exploring, I think. I can't remember. Is it Ryan Reynolds? Space movie, right? That'd be the easiest way to just Google it. Will it come up? Oh, it did. It could have come up with the Adam Project, but it came up. Yeah, it's called Life. That was a serious movie. Serious, creepy movie. That one, I don't think I want to be dealing with that one. I think that one, yeah, I'm going to add that to the list. That one would just They struggle with one alone. You have 4 or 5 of those? Nah. You Yeah, I think I'm gonna add that to the list. It's gonna be a long, beautiful life like this one as well. Yeah. Whoever hasn't seen that one, Ryan Reynolds' Life. It's called Life. Check it out. It's a beautiful, well told space movie with an alien. There's some aliens I don't mind going toe to toe with. Like Predator, again, throw a bucket of acid in his face, have a belt of grenades around his neck, done. He's just, he's a very dense, he's a thick monster, thick creature. Turn off your invisible cloak, then we go toe to toe. Obviously, you punch me once and you're gonna crack a rib or crack a few ribs, but just let me get a hand on you too. I'm not gonna punch you and whatnot. If I stab you in the eye, you ain't seen nothing. Slit your throat open, you ain't seen nothing. So you can go toe to toe with some of these guys. Xenomorphs, them boys, they jump on you. It's chotai, Jump on you one time, chotai, that little mouth teeth thing, you're done. So xenomorphs, you don't want to mess with them because they be running around on walls and they're quiet. And sometimes they don't even kill you. They just grab you, take you to the queen, put an egg in front of you, open your mouth, whoopa, you're finished. So it's like a 50-50 chance with the xenomorphs. Same thing with Predator. Predator, let me say 60-40. 60 on their side, 40 on my side. Or maybe 70-30. Because again, remove your cloak and shield, your invisibility nonsense. But if that thing lands a blow on you before it even pulls out its claw, yeah, it's cracking some ribs. You're gonna be wheezing for a while. But at least you're like, yo, if I got a grenade on me, we're going. I hug you, and I know at least I know I'm taking you out. You know, strap myself tight, just jab you a bit. I'm like, yo, what are we fighting? Give me a picture. Give me a visual image of what they look like. Oh, those guys are like 7 foot tall. All right, give me a belt of grenades, man. I know I ain't coming back from this one. But life now, you give me the aliens from Life, or like I said, for the aliens from Tomorrow War. Give me good guns for Tomorrow War, or otherwise those guys will finish you. Because their tails, they got 2 tails, right, where they shoot out those little dart things. Anyway, I don't want to spoil that life. I want that life to be a special life, man. It's gonna be a nice long life. So yeah, I mean, whoever's watching this, or whoever watches this later, if you got a list of alien monsters or creatures you want to add to it, let a brother know. Then I'll see if we can add those aliens to the list, or make a second list as well. I want to see how people, what tactical um, plans people come up with to defeat each different alien. Yeah, I'm curious. Definitely curious. Then maybe I can do another series as well, with horror series, Freddy Krueger, um, Chucky. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh my goodness. You know what? Now you've mentioned Cloverfield and War of the Worlds, Lieutenant Eddie. I think I'm going to do a separate one for the alien monsters as well, but like for the huge ones. Because War of the Worlds is let me even be spicy and throw in uh the invasion of the body snatchers. Because how you gonna fight replacement? You can't fight replacement. Like, where do they come from? You got to find where the spaceship is at and how the thing is cloning people. But something is cloning you and you fall asleep. You fall asleep, is game over. So how do you fight staying awake? I mean, you jab yourself with a few drugs, yeah, but you have to find the source of these replicating creatures. War of the Worlds, Lieutenant Eddie. Yeah, I'm gonna add. Okay, we're gonna do a second list. That's why I couldn't add Cloverfield, because the first Cloverfield movie, that thing is huge. I know little things were dropping off it too to add to the ground level thing, because it was like a Godzilla thing. After a while, they've gotten boring, just fighting this big thing. I mean, it was tense because buildings were dropping. You're knocking skyscrapers aside and whatnot. But when those small things are dropping off it, it added more terror for the ground level. I'm not saying buildings dropping on people ain't terrifying, but when you're incorporating things dropping from the alien and this ground level attacks, then yeah, yeah, they did a good job on that one. All right, let me go dip out and go and make some late dinner. I see my battery is low. I thought you could charge this thing and talk indefinitely, but you can't. Technology. You think you can talk for long? because I'm charging it. Otherwise, this thing would have died a long time. Or has the charge gone off? No, it says it's charging. So why would you then cut off? Anyway, thanks for joining, everyone. Thank you for joining Lieutenant Eddie, Merc Rumble, Sister Constance, and Mr. Team Dog, and to anyone else who joined prior. And to those who should watch this live later, a very long, needed, necessary live. Thank you for your time as always. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for joining me. I have been your one and only host, the Cosmic Jedi, signing out. One more thing. Marvel is dead to me. Don't come at me. You lose. How do I stop this live now? You lose indeed.